that as a bluegrass tune. You can
Right.
still turn it into a classical piece. It's just you're going to lose what the drums add to that song.
Yes,
Maybe
yes.
as an orchestral, you could mock it.
And that's what I was saying is like sort of the strength of the song kind of means it can transcend genre, like kind of what we were getting at in the beginning there. Yeah.
Yeah, it won't be the same. It won't be the same, and it shouldn't be. It should like, and this isn't that surprising because like I've heard those REM songs like slowed down tempo to with nothing more than a piano and a really raspy soul
Can sound
singer.
pretty,
and yeah, they're fucking ominous songs.
Stylistically very different. Yeah.
We've seen people cross genres with covers hundreds of times. Like none of it's surprising. I just think the AI thing, just these AI covers, I just think it validates the same thing that a lot of people have said, for you and I included, which is that a banger of a song, if it's truly a great song, it's going to be great in virtually any genre is what I would say. I'm sure there's some
right.
But again, I would have never imagined Slipknot would work as a funk cover. But you throw it into AI, and I'm like, all right, man, I guess I was wrong.
It can make you think things you might not have thought. And so there's a compelling element to that, or an argument to that. Again, I don't personally care for using any AI, but I can see why people would be interested in it. And I like the idea that it could potentially, almost as a co-writer, it could make you think in a different way. Like, oh, that person had a completely different idea that I never expected.
Yeah.
That led me to have an idea I would have never otherwise had, which is sort of the magic of co-writing. It's why you do it. Are we live?
Yeah, we're live now, buddy.
Shit. All right.
Welcome back, homeboy.
It's good to be back.
Cheers, sir. What are you drinking over there, Pepsi?
I've got a Pepsi for now, just to start
Pepsi.
us. It's my favorite pop.
That's a real Minnesota boy right there. He called it pop.
You know what's funny is I said soda for so many years.
That's gone away, though.
Because I grew up saying pop, and then I would say soda, ironically, but then I realized it's like hardly ironic anymore, and half the time all my irony is lost on people. So
I just say it. I traveled enough young to where I just say whatever. I'm aware enough wherever I'm at to say what they say, so I don't stick out.
Right.
So up here, every once in a while you'll
blend in like a chameleon.
Every once in a while up here you'll catch me saying pop, but I typically say soda because everybody knows what it means.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I go south. I just say I'll take a Coke, and they go cool, what kind? I'll go Mountain Dew. We go no problem.
Coke Sprite.
Yeah, Coke Sprite.
Super funny thing about that. I was in this band for a while. If you've seen my my profile picture on Facebook right now, it's with the face paint. One might think that's just for any old Halloween thing right now. But it's this band I was in called Big Fucking Skull. And if you've ever heard of them, the whole joke is that every song is about just skulls that go around and kill people. And that's the joke.
Is that why you got canceled?
You know what? There's a really good explanation for that, and I have a really good answer. And anyone in my position would obviously be able to answer a question like that. As I was saying, Big Fucking Skull is this band that... we'll get to it. Don't worry, we'll get to it. Big Fucking Skull is this band that has. We have all these songs. Now, I've not been in the band its entirety. This band was around long before me, but I joined recently. And one of the songs that they have that I absolutely love, and this speaks to songwriting too, because Big Fucking Skull it is absolutely art to me, because. Well, I can't do it. They've let me try to be involved in the.
It's just the way you said it, dude. The way you said it just cracked me up. It's not what you said. It was the tone, dude.
No, I don't know what it is, but I just can't do it. Like, so you know the difference. They say there's sane people walking around trying to make people think they're crazy and tough, but then there's also crazy people walking around trying to make people believe they're sane, and that's what Big Fucking Skull is. It's a sane person walking around, or no, I'm sorry, it's a crazy person walking around trying to make someone believe they're sane. Because the absolute insanity of these lyrics and the melodies and the progressions and just it's something I'm happy to be a part of. And what I was getting to with the pop thing, to try to tie it all back and not be too long-winded, I know we have a good amount of time, but there's a song called Skull Pop, and it's all about skulls drinking pop in the summer. And one of the lyrics is, skulls drink Coke, The skulls drink pop in the summer when it's hot. Don't drink Coke. Don't drink Coke Sprite. Something like I can't remember what we say, but we do that pop shit in the we do that regional dialect shit, and the song goes something like that, and it just fucking cracks me up. And like we've been talking a little bit. I can't bust the lid on that one just yet. So no news on Big Fucking Skull.
So,
but that is a thing I did in the last couple years.
What are some of these heinous allegations that people are saying about you?
Well, I don't know. What are some of these heinous allegations that people are saying about me? What do your parents think about my protest songs? Can you name that movie?
No, I can't actually. I know the line, but I can't name the movie.
Can the camera, are we getting that?
What is it?
Dewey Cox, Walk Hard. It's the modern day Spinal Tap.
Oh my God, dude. I love this movie so much, dude.
See, I felt like I had to bring something because when you had Mike Aronson on, Mike from The Art of Guitar, big fan, when you had him on, he brought stuff, and I thought that was so...
Dude, we still have it all up here. It's all still sitting here.
That shit was so classy.
That watch I still got up. I still got that sitting there. And then the fucking the action figure. Where did we put that action figure? It kept getting disrespected where it was sitting, so I moved it. Where did we put that fucking? It's still up here somewhere. But yeah, we're gonna hang this TV so we can start putting all the shit that people bring us out here. We're gonna clean up all this fucking mess and hang the TV and fucking or the monitor, whatever you want to call that piece of shit. That fucking 1998 flat screen TV.
So if you haven't seen
Walk Hard, great movie.
Walk
Love
Hard,
it.
Dewey Cox. To me, I always say it's the modern day Spinal Tap. In that it just has so many of those musician cliches. Every one of my musician friends knows this is one of our favorite movies of all time. Almost every musician I've ever spoken to, and a lot of non-musicians, just music fans, love it. And like I said, modern day Spinal Tap. Also love Spinal Tap.
Spinal Tap. That's
it also is just, it gets funnier and funnier the more I watch it, and the older I get, unfortunately. But it is so fucking funny. And also, I was really sad to hear
maybe
about...
the single greatest music movie of all time.
I think Spinal Tap walked so Dewey Cox could run.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
And I also brought this because I thought it was poignant because obviously the Rob Reiner thing just happened, him and his wife. Super sad to hear. That really sucks. I was really sad to hear that. Because, yeah, I think the movie is great. I think the actors are great. It's one of my favorites of all time. I thought it'd just be interesting to bring
If this movie wasn't made, there's an entire genre of movies behind this that don't get made.
Right. It sort of kicked the door down for the...
Because wasn't this Rob Reiner's like first or second thing he did? And wasn't it his first hit?
I have no idea.
Will, look that up.
In
order of... in order to pay a little bit more respect to Rob Reiner.
I've got some other...
He was an idiot on Twitter, but man, I really like the movies.
I didn't. So
yeah, he got too political. He was stupid.
Yeah. So that was one thing we said we're not going here. We're not doing religion.
No. We're not doing that. I want to know what movies he made.
Oh no, I just was saying for the audience, anyone listening at home, we're not. Sorry, we won't be going down that route.
Sorry, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Will. Yeah, there you go. And I would just want to see him in order real quick. 1947. Oh, that's when he was born. Oh my God, I was like, he started making movies in 1947. Yeah, scroll down real quick. I just want to see in order.
I have a few other DVDs to share
resort
here too.
Resort it so we go in the other order. Yeah, to the right. Edit or something. Yeah. Nope, never mind.
There are
You should be able to flip that, dude.
So there's three types of...
give me the answer. What was this first movie?
Me? I have no...
No.
Oh.
Will, I'm talking to Will. You keep talking, buddy.
There are three types of artists, I think, here. Or if we're talking about accusations, there is...
Enter Laughing in 1967.
That was his first big break?
Well, that was his first film that he was in.
Oh, the Batman.
Oh, no. Keep scrolling up then. No. Nobody knows these. Keep going. Okay, Beverly Hillbillies, but he was in that. Okay, keep going. When did he start making movies?
So there are 3 types of artists. Oh, let me get the first one.
Final Tap.
Can
the
we see
Final
this?
Tour.
Can we see the first artist on screen here?
Kanye West.
That's Kanye. I just grabbed some stuff out of my DVD collection. There's I would classify him as misunderstood. And
so these are your props for your point that you're making.
So, yeah, a little bit here.
So there's 3 types of artists. Kanye West.
There's the misunderstood. There's...
You're sure it's not literally insane?
It very well could be. I was going to kind of mention that he, I think it's sort of well documented that he does have
He's
some
a crazy
mental
person.
illness stuff. There's the innocent, and I'll defend that. I believe innocent. And then there's, of course, the guilty.
What is this? Oh, Michael Jackson. The innocent.
I'll die on that hill. I believe Michael Jackson is innocent, and we won't get into why here, too, because that's such a...
Who is this?
And
R.
then,
Kelly.
finally, the guilty.
You could do Diddy here, too. You could do Diddy.
I didn't have any Diddy DVDs.
And they don't make the Diddy DVD.
You don't want a Diddy
Dude,
DVD.
that shit is crazy, bro. You said you haven't seen that documentary? So,
I have not.
It breaks it down. Speaking of guilty, the thing about the Diddy DVD, or that's funny. The thing about the Diddy documentary is...
Did Diddy do it?
It doesn't just go into the recent allegations. It goes all the way back to his beginning.
I'm sure that
and
shit's been going on
builds
since
his
the
character
90s.
and motivation and how and why he does the things he does. Like
50 Cent did that, right? Here,
Yeah.
he's like the executive.
Yeah,
producer,
all
like,
because that
helped fund it.
motherfucker tried to take him shopping.
I did see that clip, so I do see some of the short clips, and I mean,
Pull that one up.
To be honest, it's
still
kinda
the
how-
funniest thing of all time.
it's
dude.
kind of how I would react too. Only because, not because I'd be thinking about it in any sort of nefarious way, but only just because I'm just like, that is not something I would do. I mean, I would have to be dragged to do that with my girlfriend, let alone a fucking guy friend. That's just, I mean,
I could see
because I'm just
I
not a
could see
shopper.
doing
I don't like going to.
I could see doing
Anywhere.
it for an underprivileged kid who you're in like a big brother or father mentor
Oh.
role. I could see that. I could see that.
Yeah, I
But
guess
that's
in the
still
context of
fucking
like,
weird, dude.
if I guess I had a manager who was like,
It's
we
still
need to get
fucking
you a
weird.
stage wardrobe or something. If it was contextualized different, yeah, okay, I guess that's fair. I don't know. So,
But it's still
I
fucking
don't know.
weird. It can still get real fucking weird real quick. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen this clip. Yeah.
Know what he's saying is like fruity.
I mean,
what? I'm a nice guy.
Oh, that's a nice gesture.
Let me get out. No, dude, you take me. That's what a guy says to a girl. You know he loves me.
I don't think he like it.
You know he loves me.
I don't think he like it.
Okay.
Can't stop. Won't
So-
stop.
Well, if you do some like a little fluffy stuff. I asked 50 about that.
so
So because of that moment, it started a beef that slowly
Right.
escalated into 50 Cent spending
what's funny is I at first.
thousands of dollars.
What's
to
funny
make
is
that
I at first
documentary.
very much thought of it the way 50 was thinking of it. That was my initial reaction, but then the way you contextualize it actually made me think, oh, actually, if come to think of it, what year was it? Was he on the come up and like needed some stage wear kind of thing? Like,
No, he had already come up.
Oh,
He
okay,
was
well,
already
then-
50.
then it's fucking
like,
weird.
Like because he was already with M and Dre, and this
Oh,
was
yeah.
this was just Diddy trying to do what Diddy does, which
probably
is
another topic we might,
Oh,
let's
man.
let's
oh no, we gotta talk
let's
about
dock
Diddy,
the
dude,
Diddy
because you've
documents.
also been canceled. So what are the reasons you? Because the reason Diddy got canceled is obvious.
all right,
we made
all
a
right.
documentary about it.
All right, people.
So we
people
gotta
have been-
talk about
People
it.
have been waiting. I'll say it right here and now. The reason I've been canceled is
It's a great question.
it is a good question. Coming up right after this commercial break. No, I'm kidding. So,
What are some of the allegations that people have against you?
and to which the first time you asked me that, my answer was, I don't know. What are some of the allegations that people have made against me?
I mean, they're pretty heinous. So
I've described them as heinous. Has anyone else actually seen anything, or is it just sort of this secondhand Freudian effect on the brain that makes you believe if you see something enough times, it must be true?
I heard you have a foot fetish.
I wouldn't call it Tarantino levels.
You're not filming feet out of context in movies.
I'm not filming feet for fun out of factual fun. I already said dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge. Okay. But no, here's it. I'll drop the veil right now because we're a few minutes in here, so anyone who wants to hear it finally can hear it. This whole canceled thing was just essentially an elaborate promotional stunt to promote the song you're about to hear on this podcast. But it's been a funny social experiment. Can they see that on the screen? Or
Yeah.
I love this. What are the allegations against our podcast guest Lazarus?
Apostle
the
Femi
identity of specific Lazarus is unclear, as there are several public figures with that name facing different types of allegations.
Now that just tells me I gotta make
anyone named Lazarus you should stay away from. The Apostle Femi Lazarus.
Well, actually,
that's Nigerian pastor.
That's true. I don't necessarily want people to come near me.
Oh, those ones are serious. Scroll down. Who's the next one? So you're in the same.
Oh, Stephanie Lazarus. I know about this.
Lazarus.
I've watched this not body cam footage, but there was an interview with her. She murdered like her husband.
Yeah, in 1960.
But then
she 1986.
She didn't get convicted till way later.
Great company you're in. Oh, another pastor.
I watch a lot of that stuff. I watch a lot of like.
Is that the same one?
No,
that's a different one. That's a different one. Ooh, nasty work. Keep going. Keep going.
I like watching interrogation
An entire
footage.
group. Dude, there's an entire North Korean state-sponsored hacking collective. Oh, buddy. No wonder you're getting canceled, dude.
Yeah, fuck me, I guess. I'll just go fuck myself.
That's why you're getting canceled. You're getting canceled because all these other people are doing bad shit in your name. It's like almost like your version of the Crusades, dude.
Speaking of Stephanie Lazarus, the interrogation footage, I love watching that shit because it's so fascinating to watch people backed into a corner when they don't know they're being filmed, kind of thing, and or maybe they even do know, but they're being interrogated for like a murder or something, and the cops have the evidence, and they're just slowly pointing them into a corner, and it's
I'm glad
such
we got to the bottom of this.
What I was going to get at with that is like it's such a fascinating element of human behavior, and that's kind of what this whole cancel Lazarus thing has been. It's been a pretty fascinating revelation or observation of human behavior, because at the end of it all, it's kind of been a social experiment where people have had very different reactions. There's some close friends of mine who know my humor, and not even some who even aren't that close friends of mine, but just people who know me generally enough to know my level of sarcasm and maybe my willingness to push the boundary a little bit when it comes to like sort of meta and reality stuff like that. Like I like to kind of try to do that sometimes. And other people though, so like those people immediately got it. And they can tell it's a joke. Other people, there were people who didn't know me super well who were expressing genuine concern, which was fine, understandable. I hate that I'm sorry for anyone who I might have put through that. But then there was like this third and fourth group of people, one of which who was like immediately just like, oh, this is my chance, like he's down. I'm letting him know what I think of him, which was pretty interesting. And then
there's some of the cockroaches, huh?
It's funny because it wasn't intended to do that.
It's like
but
fumigating the apartment unintentionally,
Wasn't intended to do that, but it kind of did. And then there's this fourth group who sort of quietly distanced themselves, sort of looking like a professional thing. But then it makes me realize, like, these are people who also don't necessarily seek any actual facts. They might just see an allegation, and that's enough for them. That's all. I mean, that's also something I want to know, who that kind of person is.
Yeah, fair enough.
So it's and it's funny because I came up with this idea a couple months ago, and I was sitting around telling my roommates, I was like, hey, what do you guys think of this? Like, I think I'm going to run like a fake cancel campaign, like hashtag cancel Lazarus or like hashtag Lazarus is canceled. And like the first like 5-10 people I ran it by thought it was a good idea. And I
mean, what's the worst that can happen? Somebody thinks you actually got canceled.
Well, right. And then, but again, that did happen. But all it did was sort of inform me of who other people were.
Worth a shot.
Well, and at this point, I said, "What do I have to lose? People aren't going to come to my shows? That's already the case, So
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, when you're trying to do things to stir interest, I mean, try pretty much anything.
Swing for the fences.
As long as you're not hurting other people, why not do it? I don't understand why there would be anybody who would be like. I mean, I guess somebody might be like, "That's dumb," and maybe they're just trying to say there's better ideas out there. But again, it's like, It's not like we're fucking. It's not like we have diarrhea of ideas.
It's what I had in the moment, and there's a lot of.
Just try it. See what happens.
Right, and there's a lot of. I guess I would say. Evidence that suggests just going with your idea in the moment can often be a very good thing.
When does your single go live?
Well, I'll reveal that not quite just yet.
So you haven't released the date yet. People don't know when it's coming out live.
You can't hear it anywhere right now until we play it on this show. Which,
so you are debuting it live.
I'm
for the
absolutely
first time
debuting
here
it right
tonight.
now, right here. Yeah.
But unfortunately, people have to go find this after this. So if they're going to do that, if this song gets released, where do they follow you to get this song when it is released?
Bandcamp will be the only place. So you're not going to get a
Spotify.
You're not going to get a copyright block for this. I'm not doing Spotify or any of that.
You're not
for this.
doing Apple.
So you
iTunes.
can play it live on here. People will be able to hear it, and they'll be able to hear it on the restream. Cool. So that's the whole point.
And
that's
then
where
Bandcamp when it's ready, or is it already going to be on Bandcamp?
I don't want to say just yet because I'd like to. First people can hear it here first. That was the whole point. Is I wanted to kind of help bring
Yeah, I'm excited, dude.
Some
I appreciate
gravitas
it.
to this episode.
I think it's a great idea. I think it's awesome. I just want to make
another
sure
one.
that
I
if
didn't
people
plan it.
like it and they want to follow you, I want to make sure that they know where to do
Maybe
that.
at the end of the episode, I might have that. I'll reveal if, when, and where they absolutely can get it. But for now, I just like people can find it right here in this. And I'll do a big marker when we're about to play the song. That way, people can kind of scrub for it on the thing.
Sure. I mean, you don't have to. We'll have that. we'll have your thing on the.
Oh right.
Remember, we're gonna pull up
just,
the image. So
just scrub and look for the
if they want to come back and
the
listen.
album art.
Yeah. We'll have this ridiculous fucking 2.5-3 minute spike replay on our podcast
hopefully,
episode.
I mean, that's why not? That's kind of the idea. But then, ideally, I'm hoping people might like the song enough to want to not to have to sit and sift through an 1.5 hour long podcast and just be able to dial it up for themselves. So,
should we play it now?
What do you
think? Or do you want to wait?
It's up to you.
No, bitch, it's up to you.
Let's go ahead and play it now. I think because the whole cancel thing was leading up to this song. So theoretically, the viewer is probably maximized right at about this moment. People tuning in at the beginning. I don't know. I haven't looked where we're at, but let's play it now, and then the whole rest of the way can just be fun talk stuff. I will say so. The song is something I co-wrote with Bryn, and then I actually have the recording of us actually writing, like coming up with the actual idea of the song. The whole concept was so I work with Bryn Arns from Flip, and I have for.
Is it Arns?
Bryn Arns is how
Dude,
you.
I'm 100%
A lot of people said Aaron's.
Everybody says Aaron's.
A lot of people do. Yeah, it's Bryn Arns. So anyway,
good to know.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bryn.
And hopefully he's watching. I think he might be. A lot of my friends said they were going to be tuning in. So we've been working together for a while, both doing like some collaborative stuff. Mostly a lot of songs that I just have and like have been wanting to record. And who I won't announce it here, but we're working on a little something. We got not just this. We actually were done with this a while back. Like we've recorded, I think in the last year, I know maybe it's almost 2 years Bryn and I have been working together. I can't tell. But we've recorded, I think, almost like 40 songs in that time. But we've only released like 2 or 3 because we're doing all kinds of stuff with them. We're trying to figure it out. But like that's where I think eventually I'm going to be releasing, I'll announce it here because it's a perfect spot. I have a 100-song album coming out. That's what I'm going to do next. Like after this release. And everyone would say, what the fuck? Like, but that's kind of the point is like, that's the opposite of what you should do. Like, and it's not going to be, it's like essentially 100 acoustic demos, but like, that's how many songs I have. And so I just thought to myself, what's one thing I can do that makes me different than other people? Like, cause I was listening to an interview with, a songwriter. I cannot remember who. It was a Rick Beato interview. And that songwriter talked about, Oh, it was the guy from One Republic. I don't know his name, but he was like, oh, yeah, I was backstage with Benson Boone, and he was talking about what's the one thing that makes him different? Well, he can do the gymnastics and has a six-pack and a nice mustache. So.
Oh, you're talking about the dude that does the backflip off the piano
Yeah,
and
yeah.
shit? Yeah.
So that's what makes him different, so he does it. So what makes me different is I just have a shitload of songs. So, fuck it, why not? I'll put out a 100-song demo, and then I can always just do whatever else with any amount of those songs, but like... And they're not all in the exact same acoustic state. Some of them are more fleshed out because I have, like, they were electric band songs, so I have guitar solos and stuff on things. But it's basically just me getting all my ideas and all my songs on wax. And because I think we're at, so like I said, we're recorded around 40 songs right now, and I think we're in the H's because we're going alphabetically. So I think and trust me, when it gets to the S's and T's and shit, it gets even thicker. Like, so it's, because we were wondering, like, is it going to be 100 songs or will it end up having to be, so it's going to be called,
80.
It's going to be called The Ballad of Sancho Panza, 100 Songs by Lazarus, or 85 Songs by Lazarus, or 92, whatever the number ends up being. I don't give a shit. It's just going to be
Whatever makes the cut.
however many songs I have by Lazarus.
Sure.
And The Ballad of Sancho Panza comes from, the story of Don Quixote, which I realized not a lot of people know about. I thought that was well known, but Don Quixote is this story about this delusional guy, goes off and thinks he's a noble warrior. Sancho Panza is his sort of stumpy, kind of frumpy friend who just kind of is watching his back, but is actually pragmatic and sort of saving Don Quixote's ass the whole time. Yeah, I've always kind of seen myself as a Sancho Panza, not a Don Quixote. Like, not that, like, but that's kind of how I see myself in society, as like someone who's actually willing to step back and look and think about the situation as opposed to just charging blindly with under pure delusion. So, thus, it's going to be called The Ballad of Sancho Panza. And I might wear some Mexican garb or something.
I like
my
it.
heritage.
Is there any theme through the songs whatsoever?
No, just that. I mean, I think
It's just a persona you've kind of.
Well, the theme is that, like, when
Are you
start
adopting a version of
when
the
you start
persona?
to, hey, I think there's
No
your
way.
cigars, huh?
No, bring them over here. Yeah, fuck yeah.
The theme is like
It doesn't even say they've been delivered yet. I just refreshed it.
people tell me that, like, I have a sound, and it's just sort of like a.
Fresh now. Yes.
It's just like a bouncy, poppy, melodic, very Beatles, like Paul McCartney Beatles inspired thing. And so the theme of it throughout, like, the more songs you write, and I was just telling this to a friend of mine yesterday, it's like the more you write songs, the more you sort of develop what your sound is, and the more people will tell you, oh, this totally sounds like you, or that is your sound. And so it's not necessarily trying to be anything, but just at the end of the day, whatever it is, the picture will kind of reveal itself as far as what the theme is, you know. To go into it with anything
you're not,
contrived.
Releasing, okay, so I'm just kind of wrapping my head around this. So you're not necessarily releasing this stuff as like these are our finished permanent versions. You just want to get an assload of music out there, and then if you decide to go back and redo that song.
See, the thing, I do that with
version
songs,
of it.
like we may have this song I premiere tonight here, like I may end up wanting to change something. I actually already have a different lyric that I wanted to stuff at the end of it, but I decided I'm going to save it for the acoustic version of that song. So I was already telling Bryn, like, hey, I know we already did an acoustic version of this song as well, but I'm going to redo the vocal on that because I have a new line that I want to do at the end. But no, theoretically, this is also to get all my ideas in one spot, because I have so many ideas for so many songs, and they're in voice notes and they're on the computer or whatever. And so every week I just sort of collect all the ideas that I have for any of my songs, and hopefully to get the arrangement down. Arrangement, lyrics, and melody. That's what I'm hoping to get at the end of the day for every song. Some of them have much more fleshed out and thorough arrangements because I've played them maybe for a long time. Some of them are relatively newer songs where it's like I do want to see it on paper for the first time, and then maybe I can make an assessment about where I'm going with the song from there. So even something I've already recorded for this 100-song thing, I may still re-record that once I get to the end, and I may be like, oh, the first 20 songs fucking suck now that I'm back, now that I'm, got my groove going on the last 80 or the last 40, whatever.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. It's interesting because it is absolutely antithetical to what everybody else is doing right now, which is
that's
you record 40 songs like you said you did, and then and it doesn't even have to be 40. It's just got to be. It's like a production curve, right? So the current theory is you record enough songs in advance to where you can just kind of build a snowball. But you could do this in real time if you wanted to, from scratch. What you do is you record a song, and then you immediately record or make some sort of video thing to support it. And it could be as simple as a lyric video from the early 2000s, right?
We've done that a bit.
You could totally do a lyric video. It doesn't have to be a full production video. It doesn't have to be live. It can be any sort of video element to promote it. And then what you do is you chop that up, that video, you chop that up into the appropriate lengths of time and formats. So, different lengths, widths, ratios, whatever verbiage people want to use for the appropriate social media platforms. And you push it for 22 days. You push it and you promote it for 22 days. So every couple days you're dropping a video on each platform. And then on day 23, you actually release the single with the full version video on YouTube. And then for 22 more days, you promote the thing you just released. And it could even be the same or similar videos you had, just with slight edits to it. So instead of coming soon, it's available now. And then at day 45, you start that fucking cycle over with the next single.
I've seen so many theories on that, though, because I've seen some people say, like, oh, do you only do 22 days of promotion after? Well, then you're giving up too soon on your song. You need to promote it for 60 days. I've seen so many varying.
So here's the argument, though. But here's the actual argument to it. Is the idea is it's the slow drip. Water, drip, drip, drip.
I
the water
understand
cracks
that part
the
of it. It sounds like the death of an artist to have to chase that exact program all the time. To me, then you're probably not even thinking about being a good artist or writing songs. You're too obsessed with this cycle that you're on. Whereas, I just think, I agree. I'm not good at promoting my songs and doing social media as much as I should, but also, I've realized too, it's like I do have to balance an element of happiness because it makes me so unhappy to have to do that part of it.
And I'm not saying you should. What I'm saying is this is just currently the model. Whereas if you rewind 20 years, 30 years before that, we're going back to like basically the 90s now, and for 10, 20 years before that even, you'd record a whole album, refine it down to the best 8 to 12 songs, and then you would really debate about what song do we release first, right? What is our leading single? That was a big deal. Now what I'm saying is the strategy has changed so much that, especially if you're starting from scratch, which I'm not saying you are, you're definitely not, but I'm just speaking to the proverbial random new guy who's like, I'm so confused what they're talking about. It's the same idea, but now it doesn't matter what song you release at what time. What you're doing is slowly providing a steady dose of content for everybody across every platform, no matter how. And it becomes this absolute snowball that builds over time. And then what'll happen is, like you said, it sounds, well, what if you give up on a song too early? No, that's not the point anymore. And I'm not saying this is correct. I'm not saying this is the Bible, this is what you do or else. I'm saying this is the mainstream, and there's obviously ways you can tweak this and do this different ways depending on the level you're at. But if you're starting from scratch, this is the easiest way to do it. You drop these singles every 45 days, and then what'll happen is after a year or two, not only will you have 10 to 100,000 Instagram subscribers, 1 million TikTok subscribers, 30,000 YouTube subscribers. Not only will that be a thing, but all of a sudden, one of your old tunes gets picked up and goes viral. And then that genuinely starts redriving the algorithm on your old shit, which redrives the algorithm on all your new shit, which just speeds up your snowball. Like you're literally going down the mountain now. Now you're becoming almost avalanche levels, right? Then now you start hitting huge numbers, and it's not organic because you slow dripped because it's the only other way to do it from scratch is you can release 1 or 2 singles and then drop your whole album, but you better have a fucking serious promo budget, and you better have the ability to immediately go on tour and support that promo budget.
So I guess
so it gets tough, like what you're trying to do, and I'm not saying I'm not saying Lazarus I'm saying what you're trying to do as a musician. What you're trying to do is gain interest into your music in any way that you have access to. And this is the cheapest, easiest, most predictable, reliable way to do it. And obviously you can tweak this, but even bands like fucking Metallica, maybe not literally Metallica, but even big bands at that level, they still do a version of this, right? They still drop 4 or 5 singles and then the full album. So it's interesting. It's interesting how the whole thing evolves, and you might end up being ahead of the curve just by doing something totally different.
Well,
here's a whole
that's what I'm
library of
going
music
for right now is because
for people to listen to. It might work.
Here's
dude.
what I'm thinking is because all I've known is for the last however many years, it's been all about this, got to do this X amount of days schedule for your music kind of thing. And like I said, chasing that kind of information and trying to keep up to date with it and trying to actually plan and execute it, like I said, it literally becomes being like the death of an artist to me. Like when I'm doing that, I find that I'm not creating more songs, I'm not writing, I'm not, and so I'm like, well, what the fuck is the point of promoting shit if I'm not actually creating anything as an artist? So that's
the challenge.
Me personally, my line is different. I can't take very much of that shit. As far as like anyone who knows me knows I'm an extremely private person. Like not only do I stay in my room a lot, I stay in my closet in my room because my theory is I want 2 doors between me and the next person.
You do some promo online.
Well, no, I really do try. So, and that's
it's not like you don't do any of it.
No, and I have reconciled with the idea of social media, but that's the thing is what I've realized is I'm just gonna be the artist that I am and do whatever the fuck I want when it comes to social media. If I want to do a fake cancel campaign, so be it. I will. If people end up hating me for it, whatever. Because, like I said, at this point, there's nothing to lose. Like,
and I think that works as long as you're doing something.
Well, and
even if that's something
that's the thing
changes,
is I do have belief in the music that I'm making. I just feel like it's not getting heard, and that's all I want is to get ears on the fucking.
And that's where the social media idea comes in, right? It's because it's very difficult to go viral. So the easiest next step is the slow drip method. That's exactly why, because the whole point is,
and that's fair,
to
but
just get
I don't
ears
think
onto your music.
I personally don't have the capability to follow a social media routine without it stressing me out to the point where I will either fail at it and
we'll talk after the podcast because I think technology and shit's changing.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is it's always changing. So every time,
I think it's going to get easier.
As soon as you've implemented a schedule, you see some new video that's like, "Oh, you're not doing this, are you?" But it's like, "Yeah, I'm already 15 days into this thing." You know,
who
like,
cares?
Well, right. That's the point I get to where it's like, who cares? Because I see so much conflicting.
Here's a better example to just put you at ease about this. Indecision loses more wars than bad decision. And what that means is
I call it option paralysis.
Sticking with a bad plan for 2 years is oftentimes better than shifting gears every 3 to 6 months and going in a different direction because you're never giving any plan its full thing. And that's what I'm talking about. This slow drip method, it would take a couple years to do this.
And to veer this away
from get better at it and like
to veer this away from that conversation and back to what we were talking about. There's this term we call option paralysis. I mean, I've used it with many musicians where, and especially Bryn and I,
paralysis by analysis
or that either one.
Yep.
Essentially, it's like you got to make a decision and stick with it and go with it, and for better or worse, that's your decision kind of thing. Because nowadays you have so many options in music or in life, whatever. We try to be decisive, and that's what I was going to say. Whereas Bryn and I have been recording a lot of the songs I've already written. He has this theory, and we do this experiment where sometimes he just starts playing really normal chords, just like. So this song in particular, the one we're about to debut right after that now, so he just started playing a C, G, A minor, and F. One of the most common chord progressions of all time. And he just kind of started strumming that, and so he'll do that every once in a while after one of our sessions. He'll just strum a really random common chord progression, and I'll just kind of hum and sing over it. And like I said, whenever we do this, I always record these sessions on a voice note, so I have all of this recorded the moment, sort of the nucleus of this song, the moment and I start going, oh, no. You hear me go. It's just like that footage of Paul McCartney writing "Get Back," where you can see it happen out of thin air.
Pull that mic a little closer to you.
Sorry about that. I can come closer.
No, you pull it back to you. Stay comfortable.
Well, I had only backed away because I knew I was going to be. I kind of wanted to sing off in the distance.
But you can move it. You don't have to.
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. I'm fine. But anyway, so thankfully, I'm really happy that I have the moment we sort of. And the moment I sing the thing, and Bryn's like, "Oh yeah, that's cool," right there. And then we keep going with it, and you can kind of hear us compose over like a 45-minute voice note clip. You hear us write the entire song, and then, or like 85% of it, I come back the next session with a few lyrics touched up, and like we do a few arrangement things. But yeah, this is a song written 100% out of thin air after a session, just with Bryn strumming some normal cowboy chords, C, G, A minor, F, and this to me is it's been a really good demonstration of arrangement, because the whole song, while it sounds very similar the entire time, there's little changes that it essentially loops around the same idea the entire song, which you'll hear. So I don't know, shall we play it now?
Yeah, let's play it, dude. If you want to play it, let's play it.
Yeah, let's do it. I started out down a dirt road. I soon found out which way the wind blows. I wanted out, but what do I know? Filled with doubt, I guess I'll just sing about. Oh no, guess I'm not like everyone. Oh no. Along the way, we had some good times. I knew one day we'd leave it behind. A big mistake or part of life. I can't take it back, so I guess I'll just sing it out. Sing it out. I'm not like everyone. Oh no, I'm not like everybody else. Oh no, guess I'm not like everyone. Oh no, not like everybody. Everybody else. Oh no. Everyone. Oh no, not like everybody else. Oh no, guess I'm not like everyone. Oh no, not like everybody else. Oh no, guess I'm not like everyone.
Are we back? Are we back, Will?
Hey. So hopefully everybody liked that. I really hope people tuned in until this moment to hear the song. Bryn did all the string work and the programming of the drums. Shh, little secret, there wasn't a live drummer. But speaking of drummers, though, Greg Eklund of Everclear did happen to contribute backing vocals on that. Oh no, no.
Nice.
It was so funny. He just happened to like walk in one day while we were doing that exact part, and I said, "Hey, join in on this thing." And
That's fun.
so yeah, what else was I gonna say? Oh, Bryn had done so all that guitar work and bass work you hear, kind of the rock and roll element of it. I think I played the acoustic and sang the vocally vocal, obviously.
The vocally vocal?
That's what I do. But yeah, I mean, so that's the product of Bryn and I working together. I mean, he really, he takes my songs and he really brings them to the next level. It's really pretty cool. He does. I've learned from him a lot, but I'm also I understand Pro Tools pretty well, about as well as I understand any technological thing, only because I've been around it for so long that I know all the buttons and where everything is. I don't fully understand why some shit like EQ wise. I'm just like, because I think we talked about this last time. I'm not a tone guy. Like, I don't give a fuck how it sounds. Like, all I care about is the song itself, which is actually lending itself to what we were talking about earlier, where to me, it doesn't matter if the song is punk. Like, that song could have been like, da-na-na-na, oh, no, da-na, oh, no, da-na, oh, no, not like everyone. It could have been a punk song, and I would have still heard this version in it, But that's where I meant to mention this earlier. Me First and the Gimme Gimmes, one of my favorite bands because they take classic pop songs and do punk versions of them, which is essentially what the Ramones to me is. Like, because if you slow down any Ramones song and give it a pop treatment, it's a pop song, which is probably what draws myself to being in a Ramones tribute band, which I am. We're not doing anything just right at this moment. We have nothing scheduled, but we're working behind the scenes. I had to shift gears and focus a lot on Lazarus and on North Star Original Review, sort of a booking collective thing that I'm part of. I help out with that a little bit. It's pretty cool. We got things going on. We just had a holiday party last Saturday. So yeah. If you're listening and you want to play a show, feel free to hit me up. We do like this. I call it, when I describe it to new bands, I say it's not quite an open mic. It's not quite a full set. You're not going to do a half-hour set, but you're not going to do 2 songs. We do like a 15-minute set. It's usually like 4 songs, maybe 5, maybe 3, depending on what type of band and how long their songs are. But it'll be like a 7-band, or like it'll be anywhere from a solo acoustic duo all the way up to a full band or whatever. And we'll have 7 bands a night every other Thursday at Midway Saloon. And we host a few other sporadic events on like weekends at other places as well as Midway Saloon. But yeah, it's like a nice thing where I tell people like, hey, if you've got, you want to do a little more than an open mic, but you're not quite ready to play a full set, it's a nice sort of starter or stepping stone for bands. And we give them like, I personally, one of my jobs amongst the North Star crew is like, I help a lot with the like stage managing on the day of the show. So I help make sure the bands are getting on and off the stage on time and quickly, and they understand like the changeover process, and just kind of get the general concept of staying on time and keeping the show on time, because a lot of younger bands come in and they just have no element. They just don't know,
That sense of urgency. They don't understand.
And that's not their fault necessarily, but this is sort of
it's literally their fault, but it's not like,
sometimes
you can't condemn
what I mean
them
is
for
sometimes
it if they're young and
really
naive.
sometimes it really is like their first handful of shows, and they've never had to do that yet.
Then if that's the case, then it's the stage manager's fault.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
He needs to prep those kids as they come in.
That's what I'm saying. That's me. That's what I do is I as they come in, I kind of let them know like, hey, this is the time we're running on, so the changeover is going to be this time. So get as ready as you can, and we're going to get you on.
Do you ever threaten them and say, hey, here's the deal: if you go over on time, we're just shutting you off, so don't go over on time?
No, but I've given a few flashlights, a few quick lights where I'm just like, hey, kind of give it the old wrap it up thing. But no, I mean, we don't try and be super like hard and aggressive like that when it comes to it's not like that.
Oh, you got to run it like the military.
Well,
if you go 1 minute over, kid, you're never playing here again.
Now, I personally,
I'm just kidding.
I very much like to stay very rigid to the times, but we do definitely like to have some flexibility because things happen almost when you're dealing with like 7 acts. with however many X amount of bands per thing. There's always like someone showing up late or whatever, you know, like there's always shit going on where
at the same time though, you got to be careful because 2-3 minutes here, 2-3 minutes there.
Oh, absolutely.
That shit adds up at the end
which
of
is
7
why
bands.
I try and be militant about each time. But there's often times where we have to swap people or we have to adjust set times. But as long as we roughly stay, you know, like
now you guys are a lot more laid back. But if people are wondering why I'm even bringing this up,
well,
let's extrapolate this. I'll show you an
I'm
example.
laid back for the sake of friendliness. I mean, we're trying to be as professional as we can while maintaining a friendly, you know, like composure with the artist, trying to sympathize with them, but also being the go-between with the venue, who is definitely coming down on you and saying, "We need this shit to happen like this."
they have laws to obtain by. You know, they got
and a lot of younger. So, well, that's
they
sort
have
of
laws to obey. Like they got to shut their shit down
no,
at
exactly,
a certain time.
and that's sort of what we act as almost sometimes as a buffer between this sort of hardened, maybe figure of like not any one venue in particular, but just the idea of the music scene. You know, we sort of help younger bands.
I mean, it's
maybe.
the law, dude. Like certain things have to be done by a certain time, right? Like
Yeah,
venues have to close at a certain time. They have to stop serving booze at a certain time, which means
Or maybe
they need
they're only
things to
staffed
shut
for a
down
certain
and clean
time.
up
It's
at a
not.
certain
It's
time.
not economically viable for them to stay open or whatever, and they want to close at a certain time. They have every right
Fair.
to do whatever they want.
Fair, but I'm
you know?
saying there are certain things out of their power.
Of course.
It's
Well,
not always
exactly,
up
yeah.
to them.
Well,
So I'm going to give you
anyway,
the extreme example of this. I'm just to show people how insane this. Because if you do this exact same thing you're doing now, just extrapolate it more. I'm going to give you the most extreme version of this. Will, I want you to look up Billy Joel melting down because he only has 1 minute.
Oh, I've seen this. Let me do my fucking show where he's fucking slamming.
So basically, here's what happens. The context of this, because everybody tried to slam Billy Joel, right? Or not? It's not Billy Joel. It's are
you talking about Billy Joel Armstrong?
Yeah. No.
So-
Kill that.
so
It's
either-
not Billy Joel. It's Billy Joel Armstrong.
So either one,
from Green Day.
I know both the rants you're talking about.
Mute that if you got to play through an ad, and play it in the background. Yeah, but for the viewers that don't, let's set up context for them. So what happens is through this Lollapalooza or fucking whatever festival
It was
is,
iHeartRadio, some shit
Sure,
or whatever,
okay,
some
yeah.
dumbass fucking.
which is actually better because they're not full sets. It's exactly what you're talking about. Each
was
band
like a
goes up, plays 2-3
14 minutes,
songs,
you know, like
sometimes
I don't know,
less,
probably less. I was
Sometimes
probably
somebody
being
has-
way generous with that.
No, you're right though. Some of the bigger bands went up and played 3, 4, 5 songs. Some
Right.
bands went up and they were supposed to only play 2, so they had like 6, 7 minutes. But the turnovers, the delays, and artists not being ready, there was 5 minutes here, 6 minutes there. It snowballed so badly that
See,
this happened.
and I would be so pissed.
Play this.
I would be so pissed if I was
And
Green Day
you
getting
can keep
cut off.
talking over the top of this, but
I would be pissed.
so look at that again.
It said
Go
their,
back. Go
it said
back.
their
Go
set
back.
was cut 20 minutes, 45 to 25,
Okay, but then
and it is iHeartRadio.
And it was so Usher could have done more time. However, keep playing. They actually didn't even get their 20 minutes. That's what really got fucked up.
So
Turn it down. We don't need all the volume. Yeah. Just,
or at least I mean, I'm fine.
yeah, turn it down in our headphones. That works.
I think one of the top comments was like,
I'm gonna play a fucking new song. Fuck
"How many
this
times
shit.
can somebody add fuck into a sentence?" I'm not
Give me
fucking
a
Justin
fucking
goddamn
break.
fucking
1
Bieber.
minute left. 1 minute fucking left. You're gonna give me fucking 1 minute? Look at that fucking sign right there. 1 minute. Let me fucking tell you something. I've been around since fucking 1980 fucking 8. And you're gonna give me one.
This is a
fucking
very
minute?
douchey rant
You gotta
and a
be
very douchey
fucking
way to do
kidding
this,
me.
but when tensions build,
His feelings
Fucking
are
kidding
justified,
me.
but yes, the
What
way
the
he went about
fuck?
it is
I'm not fucking Justin Bieber, you motherfuckers.
wasn't
and
perfectly
what that
executed.
means at that time, Justin Bieber
You
was
gotta
young.
be
Right, that was
fucking
such a different-
joking. This is a fucking joke. I got
By the way, I saw Green Day the last time they were here.
When this happened, Green Day was
Now I got nothing
arguably the
left.
biggest band in the world. Like
Let
Let me
that
show
new
you
album,
what
you can kill
fucking
this.
minute fucking means.
I
You
did
can
see
kill this.
them.
But yeah, he melts down, he breaks his guitar. But this is because the show was so poorly run that by the time it made it to them, their set had already been cut by 20 minutes. And then they didn't even get their 25. I believe that happened 2 songs in.
That's lame.
Now, I don't
That'd be
have
lame
any
as
proof.
fuck.
You might be able to back this up, Will. You might be able to do some research in the background. But this is just from people I heard in the industry. And it was literally like, I got a buddy who, and my buddy's very trustworthy. And he's got a buddy who is very trustworthy. And his boss was working at that festival. So, like, the chain of bullshit is still kind of credible, and that's kind of where I believe this is true. So, like, that happened in their second or third or fourth. They didn't even get close to their 25 minutes, and it's because of what we're talking about.
Lame.
So,
Yeah.
you know, I don't want to sidetrack the conversation, but I do think that's important to note. It's like,
Well,
no,
I
you
did
got to
wanna
get
say
up,
that,
you got to get off. When you're a new band, this is why this matters. So when you're a new band, when the local guy at the local club is being hard on you about not getting on and off stage fast enough, this is why. Because
and for anyone who might be listening, it's like
we're just trying to make you better, dude.
Right.
We're just trying to make
Well,
you better.
and-
So when you get bigger, better opportunities, you're not embarrassing yourself by being too slow. Then
and
it's
just understanding a level of professionsionalism that has to
and
go
respect
on
for other bands and other people.
Well,
and
that's
the
what it really
fans.
comes down to, and that's the thing that boggles my mind is where people like. If I was like, for instance, I was told to be here at 5:30. That means I showed up at 5 o'clock, and sat outside because I'm just always like that. I would never think to disrespect someone's time unless I was absolutely like. And if I did, I would be telling them I'm running late. I'm sorry,
I tell people to be here at 5:30 because they're always late.
Well, and what's
so
funny
even
is
when
because
they're a half hour late or even an hour late.
Believe me, I'm like the only musician I know that's like that. No, that's not fair. There's a handful of good guys that I work with that are very punctual and professional, but notoriously, as we all know,
musicians are horribly late. They're horribly. It's built into how you book things. This is why load-in is at 4:30, even though the show doesn't start until 8.
Right.
It's because half you fucks
Johnny can't get off until
Yeah.
fucking 6:30 from Jimmy John's.
Yeah, it's because half you fucking clowns. Also, even if you can get off work, you still stop home, take a shower, eat, fucking bang your girlfriend, fucking change the oil in your fucking truck, and you're still showing up at 6 o'clock.
The band is there to pick you up, and you're saying, "I'm right on my way out," and you're just getting in the shower.
Fucking dude, it drives me nuts. That shit drives me crazy.
Luckily,
I don't really. I haven't had to deal with that.
I was gonna say I saw Green Day last time they were here at Target Field. Just this summer.
Was it last summer?
Fucking can't remember.
Was
But
it
anyway,
this summer?
it was
I heard they killed it.
Smashing Pumpkins. I don't give a shit about them, but Rancid is one of my favorites of all time.
That's what it was,
Unfortunately, they only got to play like a 20-minute set, which fucking sucked, but I enjoyed every minute of it. And one of my old bands got to open for Rancid back in the day, so that was an awesome thing. Like they were even one of my favorites before then, so that was like one of those big dream come true opening things. Even when I've opened for bigger bands, like that one was more impactful for me, the Rancid gig. And so, I was loving every minute of Rancid, but I didn't care for the fact that most of Green Day's set, not most of, but like they were doing Dookie in its entirety. And I'm actually like, I like Dookie, but my favorite album by Green Day is Warning, which is like not one that gets a lot of love. It's like the acoustic album that is kind of like slagged off by a lot of Green Day fans. It's thought of as like their least punk album, which is what I love about it. And then I really like Uno Dos Tres, which was also very poorly received. Like I like their 2 like least popular albums, which I don't even know what that says about me. But like,
did you stay for Green Day or did you?
Oh yeah, we watched all of Green Day. Yeah. But like, I was just.
I heard they killed that show. That was at Target Field, right?
Yeah, it was so crazy. I mean, their visuals and lights are insane. I mean, it was the utmost professional type rock show you could see. And so it was cool. And then it was and then there was another band.
It's hilarious to hear that though. It's hilarious to hear Green Day, which was the true invention of pop punk. Before Blink-182, it was Green Day.
Yeah, I mean they're right in there in the thick of the, if not the invention, the absolute popularization or like revolution of pop punk for sure.
Sure. It's just funny to hear
you
that,
can't say
though.
invention because somebody will always say, actually,
This band came
you
first.
know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, you're right. You're
you
right.
didn't know Jimmy and the Buttholes were their fucking biggest inspiration.
Nope, you nailed me to a cross there, brother. That's 100% true. That's 100% true. You got me there because
there's always somebody. But in
I've
fact,
been that guy. When I was young, I was that guy.
you know
so,
what?
Yeah, I get it.
I have to stop myself from being that guy sometimes too, because
well,
like,
actually,
right? Who fucking likes that guy? Nobody. And I find myself being that guy way too much, and I fucking hate it. So I
am
often
that
have
guy.
to stop myself from being like, like
I am that guy. I always got to be right. I always got to
I
get
hate
the
that
last
shit.
word.
It's like
I hate
probably my
myself for it.
I was just gonna say it's my worst quality too. I fuck it. It's,
I hate myself.
I'm glad we
for
can
it.
have this therapeutic coming to Jesus here.
I've actually decided recently though to actively work on it because
I've been trying for a while.
because
for a while.
for at least the first 20 years of me being conscious of it, I was like, yeah, but it matters to be right. And it does.
It's
but
not even
only
that it matters to be right, but
it
sometimes
only matters to be right for me and my family.
Well, but sometimes
doesn't
somebody
matter
being
for-
wrong is having done you wrong. Where it's like somebody cuts you off in traffic and they're wrong. It's like you almost put me at risk, kind
Right.
of thing. Like
Yeah.
that's where sometimes it matters because, like, hey, I don't care if you're wrong if it doesn't affect me. But when you're wrong and I'm somehow negatively impacted by that in any way, shape, or form, it doesn't feel right to like. And it's that thing that. I've heard this about, and what I was just going to say about Billy Joel is like his biography is called The Diary of an Angry Man, I believe, or An Angry Young Man,
Sure.
which I've 100% sympathized with. I mean, pretty much my whole life, one of my biggest things was like kind of just anger issues and just generally being frustrated with the world type thing. And I feel like a lot of people grow up like that. But I saw a theory, heard a theory, I don't know where it says the reason we get frustrated with other people is because you have such a high expectation from other people that they're going to do the right thing. And so when people constantly disappoint you by doing, and not even objectively the right thing, but like I said, like breaking the law or somehow impeding your right to do whatever, like it's so much extra disappointing. Or even just, petty shit where somebody does some day-to-day thing where it's like, really, I got to take 5 extra seconds to pick up after you or something.
And again.
And well, right, and
again, if it's once, who cares?
And it says, and it suggests disrespect, which is kind of the most infuriating thing. Nobody wants,
or at least a lack of respect, because
Well,
I do
right,
think
and-
there's a huge difference between having a lack of respect and actively disrespecting.
and maybe being completely oblivious to the disrespect that you're causing. But ultimately, I think that frustrates everybody. But from what I hear is like someone like me, like. I'd like to think that I think the best out of people, and then I'm so shattered when they act inappropriately or do something that I think is just so disrespectful to somebody else. Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Phil. It's been great being.
No, I think it's good. I think, especially as a musician, I think it's good to talk about those things.
It's interesting. I was not. This was not where I thought the conversation would go.
I mean, it'll go
at all.
wherever we want.
Probably
it
a
to
couple
go,
beers
right?
will do that,
But no, I think it's good though because a lot of that comes back to where we started, which is first and foremost, show up on time. There's other people waiting on
Such
you.
simple things.
Just be aware and be respectful. Start there as a young new musician, or maybe you're not young. Maybe you're 28 years old, still doing this.
I can remember one time when I was
You're still
18
young.
and accidentally rolled a guitar cab over some cables on stage, and the stage manager guy or the sound guy, he was like, that hurts my cables when you do that. And I was so like, oh, I had no idea. No, I didn't know. I absolutely picked my guitar amp up over, and I learned that lesson when I was 18. I didn't know that. I rolled my amp right over the cables, not thinking twice about it.
You're a pretty legit, conscious, decent human being.
Yeah, if somebody said I can be oblivious to stuff too, but if somebody says something to me directly, that's all it takes.
Now, a professional would have, I don't know what they call those. Are they runners or guards? Like this plastic mound that goes over their cable
Oh,
runs.
yeah, sure, yeah. Well,
A
and this
real
was
professional.
this was
What
obviously
do they call those? A runner? Cable ramp? Is that what
yeah,
it's called?
something
A cable
like that.
ramp? Yeah, cable ramp.
But this was
That's what I got to get down here.
like I said, I was 18, and this
How much
was
are
some
those? 35
small.
bucks? $35 at discount ramps?
That's actually not bad.
How much is that? How big is that, Will? Look that up. Dude, I might give
Hey,
you
while
my
you're
credit
looking
card
this
right
up,
now and tell you to fucking...
I'll be right back. Give me 2 seconds.
$47.99.
Filibuster.
Ah, dude, I got the bait and switch on that one, homeboy. What did it say on the other screen? Go back. It said $35.99. I'm getting ripped off, dude. It's a bait and switch. What about that $22.45? It doesn't even need to be very nice. It just literally needs the fucking that's legit. How long is that? 35 inches long. That's 3 feet. Check out this website in the background, see if it's legit. If it is, let's order one. Because those are way cheaper than they were in the pandemic when I was looking at them when plastic was short. Dude, that pandemic shit, Will, affected so much random shit. Well, in case anybody didn't pick this up, fucking Lazarus is pissing. But when that pandemic shit happened, dude, like plastic got expensive. Baby. Plastic molds got expensive. The shortage of microchips
all kinds of weird
affected shit. Like I couldn't get an extra garbage bin. I got a roommate for a while. Was helping a buddy out during the pandemic, and we produced more garbage. We needed a second garbage, and I couldn't get one because the city couldn't get them because the company who produced them, one of their machines went down, and they couldn't get microchips from China anymore because of the pandemic.
So I work in I work in food services for my day job, and we 100% had all kinds of weird issues where it was like, we can't get X item because of 3 steps down the line they can't get this part or something.
And it had to do with some random supply chain issue that had to do with something.
That was honestly a very fascinating time. I don't really want to get into it because it leads so directly into like a political conversation, but COVID was a fascinating time.
Yeah, I'll leave it at this. Maybe we shouldn't rely on importing everything. I'll just leave it at that. It's the pandemic showed...
Everyone's entitled to their opinions. I'm not going to say whether I agree or disagree.
I think the pandemic showed a lot of people, and I don't think this is politically motivated, so that's why I'm saying I'm going to leave it at this.
Yep.
I believe the pandemic showed everybody on both sides of the aisle that maybe we shouldn't rely on everything being imported, because when certain things might possibly happen, it really fucks up a lot of shit. So maybe we should do some things a little bit here, just in case. Maybe not like try to do everything here because that would be unfeasible, but have some things here. So just in case, I'm just saying, well, let's figure it out.
I'm not educated enough to make any political statements right now.
That has nothing to do with Republican or Democrat. So again,
I know it doesn't. I'm just saying, like, I don't personally like.
That has to do with supply chain dependence. And it gets dangerous.
And I have my thoughts, but they're not, nobody wants to hear that shit from me. So, like.
And again, there's certain things it's just impossible for. So let's just try our best. Let's just not leave ourselves vulnerable. So when I need an extra garbage can,
let's just all do our best.
When I want an extra garbage can, I should be able to get an extra garbage can. It shouldn't be that big of a deal.
Yeah,
but it was a big deal.
If you pay for it or whatever via taxes or just pay some sort of fee or whatever.
It's just a fucking plastic garbage can. But it was crazy how far down the line
we can honestly, our garbage can at our house is like broken, and like sometimes in the summer, if food is maybe not bagged up properly, flies can get in there and cause maggots because there's a crack for them to get in.
Yep.
And then it's like, then we might have maggots crawling out near the area where the dogs might walk by. It's like, I don't want the dogs near maggots. Like,
it brings raccoons, it brings possums, it brings other animals.
Bag your garbage properly, people.
No, it's a real thing.
That's an old Simpsons quote. Put your garbage in a garbage bag. I can't stress this enough.
We have holes.
Will,
in
you'd
our
be way
garbage
too
cans.
young to understand that Simpsons reference.
Will,
do you also have a Pepsi too?
Yeah.
Whoa! Pepsi Bros. Okay, sorry about that. Gay.
No, I was just.
I'm gay for Pepsi.
I was just saying we have holes in our garbage cans from the squirrels and raccoons. They've dug holes so they can just go right into your garbage can now. Yeah. So you got to call and get those replaced.
Yeah.
Unless it's the pandemic and you can't.
Yeah, right.
They're just like that's what you have to deal with. That's what I'm saying. Like, it was just so weird how that shit.
Yeah.
How deep.
It was a very weird time. Like I said, interesting, weird. It was all kind of, just. It
if
really.
You had moonshine
it was something
made in Kentucky, bottled in glass. Nothing happened. You were completely insulated. But when you wanted a garbage can from the city of Minneapolis,
it's something I could have never predicted having seen, and something I could have never it's the wildest thing I've ever seen in my life, other than like maybe like 9/11 as it was happening. Obviously we're the same age or similar ages, I think we probably both have a vivid recollection of when 9/11 happened or where you were. What a lot of people have those touchstone things where it's like they know when they were there, when JFK was assassinated, or when the Beatles played Ed Sullivan, kind of shit. And
these things are relevant because they do impact us directly as musicians. The pandemic changed the way people consume.
You know what I always say?
Is distributed.
I was born in a time, or I was conceived in a time of turmoil. I was conceived right after both the right around Chernobyl and the Challenger explosion. So there was a lot of light. So I have a feeling my parents were both feeling very like, oh my God, the world is coming to an end, and that's what created me. I've always had that suspicion. I call myself a Chernobyl baby.
Yeah. I'm right around that same time. I think I was already born after Challenger. What year did Challenger happen? Was that 83?
No. It would be 86.
Oh, yeah. So I was like 2 years old. Yeah, I was like 2 years old, but a year and a half, 2 years old. January 1986. Yeah, I was a little over a year.
I was born December of 86, so I would have been conceived like a month or two later when the
you were conceived on that night, buddy.
Not on that night, but I'm just saying the
that
world
night,
was
night
in a
your
turmoil.
parents got busy in awkward
You ever seen
morning.
the conspiracies about this? Is going to turn into the Joe Rogan podcast in about 2 seconds here. You ever seen the conspiracy? No, let's not do that. Let's shut that down. Let's talk about.
No, I want to know what you're talking about.
Oh, there's conspiracies
it's my
about
favorite
everything.
band name of all time.
What's that?
The Challenger Disaster Conspiracy. Look this up. Band name Challenger Disaster Conspiracy Band. Yeah, there it is.
There you go. Yeah, let's keep
let's
it with
give
bands.
Let's give these guys a shout out. No, find the actual. Yeah, so there's a band called the Challenger Disaster Conspiracy. Yeah, these guys.
It looked like it said Minnesota.
Let's give these guys a shout out.
Are they from Minnesota? I never.
Let's
City
give them a
Pages.
shout out.
2000.
Dude, turn it down in the headphones, dude. Jesus Christ, Will. No, not the fucking knob. That's the monitors.
Not
Dude,
the knob,
go
you
to
knob.
the Mixer app. Go to the Mixer app. Figure out where Chrome comes through. It should be like 5 or 6 or something like that. And in our mix, just turn it down. So no matter what you play through here, it'll be down. He just keeps giving me thumbs up. He's like, got it.
It's still really loud in mine,
It's
but
still pretty loud.
I don't have mine on, so it's fine. Only one of my ears is working.
We gotta switch his headphones out. Those are the old broken ones.
I'm fine.
That's
with the one.
that's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, shout out to these guys.
So like I said, there
You should do a
is
show with these guys.
actually. I'll hit him up to.
Kill it.
I might. I'll try and hit him up to have him on a North Star original review showcase, which is a thing that was founded by Corey Carlson, who's a real legit tour manager in town. He's local, but
he's real legit. Is he too legit?
He's not too legit to quit, but he's real legit to.
There's too much legitimacy for quitting.
But
That's an old inside joke that no one's gonna get.
I was gonna say I didn't get it, but no, he's a good guy. He started this whole thing. It's his brainchild, and then myself, AJ Stone of Main Street Freefall, we help execute it primarily, and then there's a whole amount of ancillary guys who are also helping. Honestly, too much to name just at this moment. I don't want to have many other credits. I won't go down the list. But that was a reference. No.
What's up, guys?
But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. I wanted to give Corey a shout out because he is a legit dude and he's done legit things.
Shout out to Corey.
He's done a lot of legit things in the music business, and like some of the major credits I have to my name are sort of via him or directly via him.
Nice.
Same with X amount of the other dudes. Like when you had Modern Era on here not too long ago, Jack and Josh and the guys. Some of their credits too can be directly credited to Corey, and maybe even probably other guests that you've had on here too. So. Yeah, I think we even said that something we didn't talk about last time is when I was in this one band that.
Keep going. I gotta piss.
Yeah. Oh, it's your dog. I almost thought it was like a
We'll
mouse.
kick it to those speakers so I can keep hearing this while I'm going to the bathroom.
No. I mean, I guess there's not much to continue on with this story, particular, because it's just going to sound like I'm name dropping. So I'm not. I won't go on with all the names, but basically, Corey has helped facilitate many of us musicians in this scene to being into appropriate bands. Excuse me, and some of these bands also via the professional connections that Corey and some of his business associates have, we've gotten to do really high, like really premier shows. Like I'm not going to name the names right now, but like some of the top names in music that you could ever imagine, we've all gotten to play with. Some I've gotten to do some, they've gotten to do some. We've done some together, we've done some independently, but stuff that we would have never otherwise been able to do had not Corey facilitated some of this, some of these happenings and putting the pieces in the right place. And there's other players behind the scene too, that, you know, like, but yeah, Corey's the one I kind of want to give a main shout out to right now. And you know, to this day, we continue to work hard. We've had different projects over the years. Like he's not a musician. He just works behind the scenes booking. So you don't often see his face or see his name credited on things, which is why I kind of wanted to take this moment to sort of.
Yeah, he does seem like a very behind the scenes cat.
I would describe him as 100% behind the scenes guy.
And those are the guys that are best at that job. The guys who are doing that job and want to be like frontward facing, those guys always turn into Diddy.
So the reason, not the exact reason Corey and I started working together almost, I would say, 15 years ago, I don't know. But one of the reasons that I first trusted him was because he wasn't some sort of like former failed musician. He's never been a musician. He's always been like I want to be on the business side of this type thing. And not business in a crunching numbers type sense. Like I want to be in the action, in the shit. He's not like a desk officer putting in applications and reports. He's a field officer out there, you know, in the shit. And so he understands what it is to be with a band day to day and to like have people call them last minute, like literal celebrities. Like, yeah, I don't feel like flying on this flight, so get me one an hour later. Yeah, I don't feel like flying on this flight. Get me one an hour later. And just all day with that shit. Like, and to have to deal with that is a pretty special breed of, you know, patience and understanding and savvy, you know, like most of us would fucking freak out after a while, that kind of shit. I mean, he's done it for all kinds of people for a long time. And it's that kind of knowledge he brings to the scene, like just seeing it operate at the highest level, which is why he's always, like I said, why he's sort of helps put all of us in place optimally, like myself too. Because I initially at the beginning said, you know, like, I don't want to be, I've been part of so many groups or things where I ended up being the hardest working guy there. It just sounded like another band where I would end up being the leader and have to drag everyone else along, which is not the kind of shit I want to do anymore. That's why I play solo and why I don't want to be in bands anymore. But after now that things are more solidified and the roles are a little more defined, you know, I look to Corey for, it's like, okay, where do you know, how can I best help this thing? You know, what can I do? Like, it's like when I joined one of the bands that I was talking about, I said, hey, I'm signing up not to be a key member of this band. I'm going to be the number 4 guy. But I promise you that I'm not going to be a number 4 guy who holds this band back, you know, because a lot of bands will have 2 or 3 guys who are really into it and one guy who's just a fucking anchor. Yeah. And I said, I promise you, I won't be an anchor.
And you mean anchors in not a good way,
as in holding the band back,
not holding us in place,
not holding us
storms.
down, not not the foundation, but rather a literal drag on the band.
Yeah.
Whereas I said to these bands, I did it for 2 different bands. I signed up for the number 4 slot, and I said, okay, all 3 are in place. All you need is a fucking bass player. All right, I promise you, not only will I do it, I'll be the best fucking number 4 guy you ever had. And both bands did very well. Like, it goes to show when a band doesn't have anyone holding them back and just like, and bang, 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 you know, because a lot of times the band text, it's like, hey, can we do this? And then it's crickets for 14 hours. And it's like, yeah, I can do it. It's like, it's gone. Like we needed to respond within an hour, buddy.
Yep.
You know, like
You're talking about booking opportunities in that
or
moment.
anything. You know,
But
just
that specific thing,
that's
the
kinda,
most realistic
that-
thing is booking opportunities.
That's specifically what I was referring to, and that happens way more often than you could believe.
So the easiest way to do this for anybody listening who struggles with this, here's the fix. And this I believe is absolute. I have not heard of a better way to do this. Here's the deal. We all have fucking smartphones, and even if you don't, you have access to Google somewhere on somebody's computer. We have a band calendar that everybody has access to on Google. If you do not have that,
we actually
night
talked about
reserved
this
off,
exact thing last time I was on here. I'm remembering it.
if
now.
you do not already have that night marked off on the calendar, I'm booking the show. If you, all I need is, I don't need a reason. I just need Lazarus off.
if you can
now I know we can't book the show. That's it. It's
I
that
will
simple.
I will find this from the last time I was on here. I guarantee you had almost snapshot the exact same speech from the last time I was on here.
I've been doing this.
I can see. I bet.
Because I've been doing this exact strategy with bands I've been in and bands I've worked with and bands I've advised since Google Calendars was invented.
Mm-hmm.
The moment you could create a collaborative calendar, the excuse to not be organized as a band was out the window.
And
it was
believe me,
done that day.
To me, the excuses where there's been too many times where it's like, okay, we already put the system in place that is supposed to be foolproof, but yet, you know, it's
Then that guy's got to go.
The ball's still
Now he's an anchor. Now he's an anchor. Now that guy's got to go.
And as you can see, I am now a solo member because every single time that guy had to go. There's yet one single person I have found that I said, oh, that guy can stay. Nope. Out of all the however many bandmates I've had, that guy's got to go.
The only other way around it is if you have a system in place where you have fill-ins, right? So like,
well, that's where I operate now. Is just like one-off musician fill-in show stuff. Like I don't have permanent bandmates because I can't. Not that I can't work with anybody because I can work with everyone just fine. But like, well, one, two, I wouldn't.
It's hard to rely on people.
Well, and I don't want. Nobody should have to commit to my thing right now because why would they? My thing is no thing. You know, it's just, my whole philosophy has always been once my thing becomes appealing enough for other musicians to want to be a part of, then it's going to be another story. But I have to make that happen on my own. I don't want to. Because all throughout the years we tried to have musicians, or I tried to be in bands. Like I wasn't always the lead singer. I was usually the guitar player, but then I kind of wound up being the primary songwriter, which is what ended up slowly making myself becoming the lead singer. Because at first it was going to be like, we're starting this band and we're all going to write songs and it's going to be, okay, cool. And then eventually it just became like, I was the only guy really writing songs, or the only songs we were playing were the ones I wrote. So the guys would look to me to just write more. And I'd be like, okay, that's fine. So we're going to do like a Who thing where he's the front man and I'm the Pete Townsend, where I write the songs and he's okay, I can dig that. But then it got to the point too where it was just like I wasn't liking the way a guy was singing or something. It's like, no, I really have a more specific vision for how I want this delivered, or you know, or truly you're not even delivering the melody correctly, which is integral to the feeling of the song for me. And thus I just slowly, by necessity, one by one, faded out every musician around me because it's just like, no, I just want to deliver the songs the way I want to deliver them. Chords, melody, lyrics, it's the way I want to deliver it. And to me, that's the only important thing. Like, I just want to get all these songs down before I die is all. Like, I just want to get it into the ether. Like, I don't need any accolades or recognition. I just want people to know these are all the thoughts that were in my head. Because I got a lot of them.
That's the ultimate reason most people should do music, is that right there.
Yeah, it's just
why you pursue it as a career. We can go to the Kid Rock thing, right? It's money, fame, or pussy, and that's true. That's still true. I will still psychologically, I will still break it down to that. I'm
sure
right.
Psychologically, I have been drawn to this for similar reasons like that, where it's like, oh, there is the allure of this kind of thing, but at the end of the day, I know, like all those things. It's because anyone who knows me too knows I'm just not a money guy. I don't care about money. There's been so many instances where I'm just like,
Yeah, but if you could pay your bills making music, you're doing that.
Well, right, absolutely. That's not to say I don't care, but it's hard to explain in that way. But yes,
but if I, and I'm not saying you sign your rights away. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying magic wand, perfect scenario. If I said, "Hey, I'll pay you $100,000 a year for the rest of your life to make music,"
done.
and it's $100,000 a year
done.
guaranteed, plus. And then we just negotiate from there. But you never get fucked over. Magic wand, right? You never get fucked over. You're doing every musician who says, I don't do it for the money, every musician I offer that to quits their job, their day job, on the fucking spot. Even if he makes 150 grand. Even if the guy makes 200 grand a year. If I said, I'll give you 100 grand a year to make music for the rest of your life.
I don't understand. Did I fail that test or Pat? I'm confused. Wait, what was the point of this?
The point is that when we all try to tell ourselves we're not doing it for the money, that's true because we don't start doing it for the money. We do it because we love the music.
But
what I'm saying is, and what Kid Rock is saying is, the reason you pursue it as a career is either money,
to make a living,
pussy, or fame. It's one of those three or a combination of those three things. No matter how elaborate your speech is, we can always do. So for me.
Oh, no, I absolutely agree.
My real motivation, I love playing in front of big crowds. And I'm just going to be honest. I'm going to use myself.
So maybe the fame element of it.
I love playing in front of big crowds. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. But the real core I wanted to do is when I was writing songs, what my real core motivation was is I wanted what I would refer to as peer recognition. So my dream is to open for Metallica 100%. And James Hetfield to walk up when I get off stage and he goes, "You guys are fucking awesome, man.
Right?
You guys killed it." Boom, my career's over. I've achieved everything but still that James Hetfield moment to me, I can still call that fame because it's not anything else other than somebody recognizing me for being great, right? It's peer recognition. So you can do that for getting pussy. You can do that for making money. We can always figure out a way. It's just simply one of those three things.
Right.
Including when people tried to say, I like the access. Well, that's power. That's fame. That's because you don't get one without the other. Like you have to be famous. Even if you're just locally famous, right? It's still a fame thing. Oh, I get in backstage everywhere. I just walk up to any club and get in. All of that is fame. Mm-hmm. Even though you're not trying to like sign autographs for adoring fans. That's what I mean by that. Like we're dumbing it down to
notoriety.
Yeah, exactly. Notoriety. That's really what he was saying, right? I just use his little takeoff point as my analogy.
Yeah, I definitely
realized. And if you want to
realized
pay your bills and raise a family,
well, right. I definitely realized
money.
The thing I want most is just the autonomy to be left alone, which is money. You know, if you have money, you can afford to be left alone.
Right.
Like you don't have to leave the house. You don't have to. Fame. It seems nice, but the funny thing about that is I know that I'm so much not a people person that I'm pretty sure I don't ever want to be famous. I'd love to be able to sit at a bar and a song comes on and I'd be like, I wrote that, right? Like, but not be recognized via the face. I don't want to be recognized when I go out.
I know a couple cats like that have been on this podcast and they have still to this day have NDAs that
sure.
Like guys that have sat here in this room and they wrote a song that, and I'm saying I know a couple of them where like still to this day, if you're in your car for long enough, you're probably going to hear one of the songs that they had input on.
That's like the ultimate thing I've ever thought about. And maybe just like making my parents and family proud about like, wow, our family member wrote a hit song on the radio. But also just being able to sit there next to a dude, a song comes on over the radio and he's singing along and he's like, I co-wrote this, right? Look it up on your thing. Like that just seems like the ultimate like awesome. And the guy buys you a beer probably, like that's to me the level of fame I want is to be able to brag at the bar.
And that is exactly like accurate and appropriate. And I think if more people were willing to admit that, because that's not douchey levels of fame. That's just like, like there's perks. Right?
Yeah,
let's just start admitting
if I feel
that.
like name dropping it, I want people to be able to recognize, but I don't want to be recognized. I mean, nobody's going this day and age. Nobody's a celebrity anymore. I'm not going to go out of my. I actually just heard somebody kind of. I'm not going to go out of my house and be like, "Oh my God, somebody's taking pictures of you."
That's douchey fame.
That's never going to happen to any of us ever again. No, that's never going to happen to anyone.
I mean, it could.
Only for maybe like a political scandal or something like that.
No, it could if you go viral. You know, like you could have a short 15 minutes.
I don't think people are coming to people's houses anymore, though. You know,
it depends on how viral you go, right?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Like, trust me, because dude who is hide your kids, hide your wife, he had plenty of people at his house. You know what I mean? Like that shit blew up.
Anyway,
but where I'm going with this is, I'm talking about this town, right? So if you go to Nashville,
Ghost Town.
If you go to Nashville,
hanging on the cold ground. That's a Clayton Ryan song. That'll get you demonetized real quick.
if you go to Nashville as you, me, Will, Logan Stahlecker, anybody, and at any level, any talent type, any style, doesn't matter. If you're in Nashville and you go, yeah, dude, I want to like make a living making and playing music. People will go, cool. Here's what you do. In this town, people go, ugh, you should just do it because you love music. And yeah, cool. I get it, dude. You're right, man. And that's why I do it. I do it because I love music. But, bro, I kind of want to do this as a career.
There is
How do I do that?
Hipster pretension. I mean, the hipster.
That's a great way to put it.
Hipster shit has been a problem for I mean, even back in 2005.
That's a great way to put it, dude. That's a great way to put it.
Well, it's that whole I want to be famous without acting like I want to be famous type of shit. Like. And I'm not going to, so I was joking earlier when I said, I'm going to dish dirt, I'm going to talk about bands I don't like. I'm not going to do that. I just said that shit is clickbait. Like, it's just like, there are plenty of bands I don't fucking like. I don't fucking like them at all. And I could talk about X amount of reasons I don't, but I just sound like a hater. I just sound fucking stupid, you know? And people are like, well, what are you, blah, blah, blah. But the funny thing is like, I don't want to talk hate about the bands because I need to get that off my chest to everybody. I would like to say it only to entice the response. I would like to see what people have to say about me. Like, I want people's worst criticisms so that I know how I need to improve myself as a musician. But you can't entice that without... You can't bring that vile side out of people without first attacking something they love. And so sometimes you need to do that just to get an honest... an honest reflection or an honest snapshot of where you're at in the public mind, you know. And it's that's where the kind of cancel Lazarus thing was a little not risky, because it's really not, because that was the other joke to me, is like there was such obvious like TMZ logo. It's like, come on, like, does anybody think that's fucking real? Like, and I did have some people, even after I explained that it wasn't real, they're just like, okay, but I just need to make sure, because if you actually, and I'm just like, well, dude, I just told you. Like,
that's the thing, is as soon as I saw the TMZ thing, I was like, it's obviously tongue in cheek.
Thank you.
This is just
any logical person with any sort of discerning, like, just analysis ability would be able to look at that and say, oh, like, this is not an official TMZ thing, so thus they must have put the TMZ thing on there. Why would they put the TMZ thing on there? Oh, only to make it look like this sort of thing. Like, yeah. So, and nobody who's being canceled would do that. Actually, they would try to downplay the thing, or they would try to damage control. Like, it's just so, like, it was so perplexing to me that people couldn't see it for the joke that it was.
Well, clearly it worked then.
Well, it did. And you know what's, you know what? You're not the first person that says that. And I always think of the Departed, where he says, like, Alec Baldwin's talking to Matt Damon, and Matt Damon's character in The Departed is famously kind of shooting blanks. He's like, he's sort of impotent, you know. And there's a scene earlier in the movie where she's the morning after, she's eating a big old banana and peeling it. She's like, you know, it's not a big deal. A lot of guys have that problem, you know. And it's just so fucking obvious what they're alluding to. And later on, Alec Baldwin's talking to the guy, talking to Matt Damon, and he's like, yeah, it's a good thing to get married. Let's the wedding ring lets women know that your cock works. And he goes, oh yeah, it's working. Overtime, you know. And that was my joke with the canceled thing. I was like, oh, it's working overtime. Just like Matt Damon's cock in The Departed.
Dude, there's so many of those quotes that I'm like just oblivious to, that I've definitely heard because I've seen that movie. And in a different context, I'd get it.
That's
but
another
like,
thing is I have to stop with the quotes. I say it's like fucking.
I love them. I
it's like
love them. I just wish I
60
got them every time.
I would say I do 55% quotes all day, and about 45% of them go unnoticed because I just sound like a fucking idiot all day.
Dude, I love it. I love it. I just wish I got
I love
more
it too,
of
but
them.
I just look like
I
a
do it
fucking
all
idiot.
the time. I do it all the time, dude. And there's certain weird nerdy ones like that I'll say completely out of context that have perfect application to the conversation, but the quote itself is out of context. So like
You have to know your audience.
So like, are you
They're not gonna
a
get it.
Marvel fan? Do you watch any of the Marvel movies?
Yeah. Everything up until like the Endgame stuff, and a little bit after, but pretty much I kind of checked out after Endgame.
So okay, so like that first Iron Man movie.
Oh yeah, I know all that. I know all that
Bridges,
first generation
from a
stuff.
box of scraps.
Yeah, I know
Like,
the
that's
box
one
of scraps. I know
dude,
that
but
one.
that's one of my favorite ones to throw out there randomly. And
Sure.
no one, if you haven't seen
If you
Marvel,
did that in front of me, I would 100% get it.
if you haven't seen Marvel, you obviously have no idea what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
you would sound
But-
crazy.
But I love throwing that out in moments where, even if you have seen Marvel, you're still gonna give me be like, what? Because I'm doing it as a metaphor for like, this motherfucker's working with nothing. So I'll just be like, from a box of scraps, and people, most people still don't get it. So like, I'm all about it. I'm so fucking tunnel vision off so often that even great movie references that I know, I will be the
Sure.
guy who didn't get it.
That happens to me a lot.
That
Happens to me at home, and maybe it's
or
because
a good joke.
Maybe it's because you're in your home right now that your guard is down in a sense that it wouldn't otherwise be. Because when I leave my home, my guard is different. But when I'm at home, Corey, actually, the guy I was talking about earlier, he pranks me all the fucking time, and I fall for it so fucking hard because I'm always like, dude, my guard is down at home, man. Come on. I don't need to be having this shit. Well, and it's always innocent and playful, but he gets me so bad because it's like my brain is so, I'm trying to be so on all the time when I'm in public, even when I'm, I just
shit!
lost my...
What happened?
Hello? Hang on. Hey.
Oh,
Are we back?
We're back. What happened? Did we get muted?
No, I'm troubleshooting back here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, anyways, I was just saying that, like,
less. I'm just kidding, Will.
I was, you're so, I'm sure everyone is. The minute you leave the house, you're entering the world and you're on guard. And then when you're at home, you're more relaxed. And so you don't expect to be pranked as much at home. And sometimes I am. And I fall for it really hard. And like I said, it's always innocent. It's never harmful. But it can be because sometimes I'm almost swinging on them where I'm just like, dude, don't do that because it freaks me out. And like, and not to mean like I'm so tough. Someone would, if they were to even flinch at me, I would knock them out. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not a tough guy. I just mean that like my reflex would be to like kind of push and just sort of hit.
Like those old YouTube or Instagram, whatever they were, the reels of the dude hiding as a fake plant and scared somebody and then gets knocked
your
out.
Your instinct is to shove that person away, or maybe even you close that fist and it, it's just a human instinct.
Yeah, I'm definitely a swinger or a grabber. Like if you scare the shit out of me.
I guess I'm more of just a pusher. Like yeah.
Well, the problem with the push, because I've done that in the past, the problem with the push instinct is there's a rebound. And it often
well, I've yet to find myself
saying,
in a situation where it's actually like push and then all of a sudden, oh shit, I need to do more.
I have.
Well,
and that's why I'm a grabber, because I will go for the restraint, and you can also just pushing. You can also hurt people. If they're not ready to be pushed. Well, so like I'm more of a grabber.
I always say that too.
swinger.
That's why people will say, I always joke, oh, I'm a lover, not a fighter, because it's like, you don't want to. Nowadays, you hear about people. It's like
Hold on, that sounded insane. Let me finish this. I realize what I just said sounded insane.
You're a grabber. I was just gonna say, what are you gonna grab me under the table?
Or a swinger, right? So like, I realize how crazy that sounded. What I mean is,
I didn't even catch that.
What I mean is, I'm either gonna grab you and try to restrain you.
I'm gonna grab you and swing you. You got a pineapple on your shirt?
No, I'm either gonna grab you and try to restrain you, as like I'm gonna do some jujitsu and just immediately just eliminate that. Or I'm swinging, and the point is I'm intentionally trying to hurt you. I don't want to push and accidentally hurt somebody.
Oh, I see.
So I have two
I
very distinct reactions.
I guess I was about to talk.
I just wanted to be very clear about what, because people are going to be like, you just totally contradicted yourself,
You
Jared.
incited violence or something. Yes, which
I don't want to accidentally hurt people. If I'm swinging, it's to fuck you up. If I grab you, it's because I don't know what's happening.
Well, and
Let's restrain this, bring this down to the ground.
Neither one of us would incite violence in any way, you know. But if you have to defend yourself, you have to defend yourself.
I might do it on purpose. I wouldn't incite violence.
Don't say that. I mean, not on purpose. If you have to defend yourself, you have to do what you have to do. Like if
right,
somebody's,
but that's not inciting violence, right? So
well, but inciting violence. What I'm saying would be to tell people to like, oh, you should act this way if somebody, you know, which is not, you know, I'm sure.
No, I think inciting violence is getting other people to be violent.
That's what I'm saying, because people are listening right now, maybe potentially, and you're telling them, hey, if you're in this situation, you should act violently when it's maybe not. That's inciting violence essentially. And so that's what I wanted to be clear about is like, hey, I'm not promoting violence.
Right. Yeah.
Because what I wanted to say is that, like, I don't even like the idea of having to punch somebody because, you know, nowadays, if you punch somebody, I mean, most guys, most of us know how to throw a proper punch. Like, you could hit somebody just right to where they fall, hit their head on the cement, and they fucking die. All of a sudden, you're going to jail for 25 years or some shit, you know, through a blip note, you know, one drunken little just swing or whatever, you could be going for your life. Like, just
for sure.
In a drunken, just not even thinking about it moment.
Yep.
Like, which
same
is why
thing with the push. You push somebody, they're not ready to be pushed.
A push could be the exact same effect. Yes,
yep.
But like I said, that's where it's if somebody comes up and scares me, and that's where I would feel like there would be a strong self-defense claim where if somebody was actively trying to scare me and they got in my personal space and I was just pushing them away.
Yeah, it depends on where you're at, right? Minnesota doesn't look kindly on that shit. You're still going to jail, you know.
Possibly, but at least the argument could be like, look, I wasn't attempting to inflict.
Florida, you're not even getting arrested. Like Florida, Texas, like certain states, they're like, yeah, that guy was being dumb. He was asking for it. Minnesota, you're still going to jail. I'm not saying you're getting sentenced to prison. I'm saying you're still getting arrested. You're going to jail and you're going on trial and you have to defend yourself.
I don't keep up with a lot of the laws.
In other states, though, like their laws are, no. That's clearly that dude that was on him.
Well, that's what I would just hope that
the shit out of people.
I would hope that the system would prove itself in the end. You know, if in the state I have to spend more time in jail awaiting that process, I guess so be it. That's how the process goes. That would suck, and I would wish I was in another state, but that'd be the reality of my situation.
Exactly, which is why you shouldn't dress up like a plant and scare the shit out of people.
And I would accept it.
Because you could die, and some other guy's sitting in jail because you were dumb.
Right, and that's where I generally don't do a lot of, like, scare pranks. If I do a prank on somebody, it's a slow burn thing where, like, I've taken something of theirs just to, like, move it, or, hey, where's my, you know, that kind of shit. Like, I don't like to jump scare people. Like, that's... I don't know. I just don't care for that because I
feel like if you're going to do that kind of shit, you have to be part of a group. Like we're basically talking about the invention of Jackass.
Which is why it happens to me.
We're talking about the invention of Jackass, though.
And I just don't.
We all prank each other, and like you're signing up for this. At some point in time, you literally have to sign a waiver, like especially if you're making content and shit. There's no two ways around it. Like, we're basically inventing Jackass right now in this conversation.
Reinventing the Jackass. I'm gonna go to the bathroom again real quick here.
Let's play your tune again, dude.
Yeah, that'd be awesome if you could.
Yeah, let's cue it up. One more time.
Replay.
Let's do it again. We also, by the way, before we cue this up, before you go pee, at the end of the podcast, we have another song of yours that we're going to debut for the very first time. We're going to do it at the very end of the podcast. It's going to be the last thing you guys hear. One more song that you wrote.
What could it be?
That we're debuting on this podcast. So stay tuned.
Fuck yeah.
Bryn doesn't even know about this one.
He does not.
No, just play the fucking song.
I'm good.
I started out.
Yeah, perfect.
Give it a listen, everyone.
Yeah, and then turn it up in the monitor.
Dirt road. I soon found out.
No, just turn the mix up.
Which way the wind blows. I wanted out, but what do I know?
You got it muted?
Filled with doubt.
There you go.
I guess
I'll just sing about. Oh no, guess I'm not like everyone. Oh no, along the way, we had some good times. I knew one day we'd leave it behind. A big mistake or part of life, I can't take it back, so I guess I'll just sing it out. Oh no, guess I'm not like everyone. Oh no, I'm not like everybody else. Oh no, guess I'm not like everyone. Oh no, not like everybody. Everybody else. Oh no, I'm not like everyone. Oh no, not like everybody else. Oh no, guess I'm not like everyone. Oh no, not like everybody else. Oh no, guess I'm not like everyone. Oh no, not like everybody else. Oh no, guess I'm not like everyone. Oh no, not like everybody else. Guess I'm not like everybody else.
Back. And then, okay, are we back? Okay, go upstairs. I got this big stash of Guinness in that temporary kitchen. Just grab a whole 6-pack out of the whole thing. You'll know what I'm talking about.
Guinness?
Yeah.
Too heavy for me.
Oh, it'll put hair on your chest, buddy.
Yeah, I've got none.
That's why, because you don't drink no Guinness.
That may be true. The correlation is accurate. I can count maybe 14 hairs on one of my nipples, or maybe 6 on one and 8 on the other.
Man,
What do
I
they say,
got
6 of
grip
one,
of
half
fucking-
dozen of the other?
I got a grip of hair on my chest, dude. It's fucking irritating.
You know, yeah, it's funny so my dad's not very hairy. It's just part of my heritage, I guess. Ha, heritage.
I don't even think most people would have caught that. I would have missed it.
I didn't even catch it. I
would
said
have
it,
missed
and then
until you fucking. Until you
I didn't
laughed
even
at
mean
it.
to say that. That's just how
That's
sometimes
great.
I do
love
that.
it. I love it.
So, but anyways, my mom told me when I was younger, she's like, you're probably not going to be very hairy. Your dad's not very hairy, and so I was like, okay. But at the time I was like, no, Mom, I want hair pit in my arms, or armpits in my hairs.
There you go.
Hair pit in my hair in my armpits.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks, Will. You're the man.
So,
I
anyways,
switched to
that was a
Guinness.
song.
It makes way less drama on the belly.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, that was the song again, and thanks for playing it twice. So that was cool.
Yeah, dude. No problem, dude.
Yeah.
It's a good tune. It's a happy tune. I like it a lot. It's got just enough production in it for me, right? Because like I have a very hard time listening to like acoustic singer-songwriter music.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying I can't. I'm saying it's difficult.
Mm-hmm.
There are artists that I have gotten into and didn't like the production version of their music. I'll give you 2 examples. I'm gonna forget the first girl's name, but the song she sang was it starts in my toes and I remember discovering her and kind of liking it and like following her and like you couldn't really follow people back then the way we do
I don't
now.
know her name. I'd know the name if.
Then she blew up and did some shit. And then I think the other one is Jason Mraz. Jason Mraz, I believe.
I've never cared a ton for him.
So I believe I found Jason Mraz. I might be listening the wrong person, but I found their like acoustic music, and it was like really good, dude. I really liked it. And then they kind of got popular and re-released all their shit like with drums and full production, and it was not the same. I was not vibing with it anymore. And I'm pretty sure that was Jason Mraz. Yeah, I won't recognize his face because this was back in the day when I was like doing downloading on the internet, so I never associated him with his face. I'd have to listen to his songs.
Well,
definitely not reggae. He had a song that was kind of islandish, I guess I would say.
I'm yours.
Yeah, that was definitely a song. But
I'm yours.
I do think it was him, but I think I caught it before he actually went full production. I still might be mistaken.
You never go full production.
Never go full production. I got that one, you son of a bitch. Never go full production.
Thank you. I'm glad we don't even have to do the actual reference because we both already have the reference.
Oh, that's
and
great.
my guys at home absolutely get that reference.
You never go full production. That's a great one. That's a deep cut, dude.
Yeah.
Did you watch that one with him on Rogan? Rogan goes, hey, he goes, hey, you
with
think...
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, he goes,
no, that couldn't. He's talking about how it couldn't be made today, type thing.
Yeah, dude, yeah. It's my favorite response of all time. He goes, man, you guys got really lucky with the timing of that. You could never make that movie today. And Robert goes unprompted. He goes, well, you could do it, and then didn't follow that up with anything else. And dude, Joe Rogan. I just got to say this about Joe Rogan. I do not think Joe Rogan is the greatest comic of all time. Not even close.
No, absolutely not.
But there's moments.
I've never even heard anyone say he's like a top comic. I mean, he's funny enough, but he's not really known as like. I mean, his strength is not being a comic. I don't think anyone would say that. I mean, he's obviously the great podcaster that he is, and he's influential in that way. And
I do think he's a great comic, but I don't think he's like. Okay, so for example, Joe Rogan says his favorite comic or / the funniest person he knows is Joey Diaz. Other people,
and Joey Diaz is hilarious, but in
other
sort of
people would not say that's their favorite. They'd go, my favorite comic's Anthony Jeselnik, or they would say my favorite comic is Bill Burr, or my favorite comic is Ali Wong.
And I love all those people that you just.
But favorite or funniest is super subjective.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying. I don't think Joe Rogan is the funniest comic. I do think he's a great comic, but to me, he's nowhere near the funniest comic. However,
of course.
There's moments on his podcast that
I see.
I think that dude is so fucking fun.
Yes.
I understand why he's a successful comic because there's moments in his podcast where somebody will say something and he will sidestep it, crack a joke, and I will be dying laughing, and then they just move on.
And I would just say that's the same reason Theo Von is a great podcaster is because Joe Rogan can be one of the most hilarious and interesting podcasters of all time, just like Theo Von. His stand-up comedy, it's a little less, he's almost more funny in the wild, Theo Von, when he has his moment-by-moment observational stuff, which is why his podcasting probably is, that's the clips you see of him, is him talking to other people and him just saying
That's exactly where I'm going with it. Is
Joe Rogan is the same thing.
The reason they're great podcasters is because they're great comics. Or because they're comics.
Yeah, but I don't
because great comic is still subjective, right?
I would say they are comics, therefore that element adds into the fact that they are great podcasters. It's not that they're great podcasters, therefore they are great comics.
No, but I don't think they would be great comics. Or I'm sorry, I don't think they would be great podcasters
without being
if they weren't comics first.
Oh, absolutely.
And they're very high-level professional comics.
100%.
Whether you think they're funny or not.
But I don't know that anyone would put them into like any top 10 lists of comics or anything.
Some people, Theo Von is their favorite comic.
Oh, I get that. I mean,
you know what? Here's what I think of Joe Rogan.
I just think a majority is all.
Comedy-wise, I think Joe Rogan is very similar to the Stone Temple Pilots, whereas everybody thinks the Stone Temple Pilots is a very good band, but
I don't
almost
personally care for him.
almost no one ever on the history of the planet has said the Stone Temple Pilots is their favorite band. That's Joe Rogan
Okay.
of comedy. That's
Okay.
what I'm getting at. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Where it's
Nobody's going to say Joe Rogan's a shitty
he's
comic.
he's like the Kirk Cousins of fucking comics, where it's like, yeah, everyone would agree he's top 10 or 15 or something. And the argument is there, but nobody's going to put him, in
number
the
one. Yeah,
right. And if I remember right, you're a football guy, right? You follow
big time. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you understand the reference I was making, where Kirk Cousins has always been kind of fringe 15 to 10 area for the last 10 years.
He was a legit top 12 quarterback, but here's the thing: he was always 11th or 12th.
Right, exactly. Which is
So
why
he's
you
at the
say top
bottom.
12.
Yep.
Like,
But-
I mean, you don't
But
say that
we're
number
talking
unless you're
statistics, right? I'm talking favorite quarterback.
Okay, and can I
favorite whatever, right?
since we're on the topic already, and I don't give a fuck if anybody wants me to talk about music, because I don't think anyone actually cares anyway, one way or the other. I want to talk about a little bit of football. Have you watched the season?
Enough.
That doesn't sound like you've watched all of it.
I've watched all of it.
Oh, okay.
But not the way I would when I was a super fan, because I've been watching football.
Oh, that's right. You said you've been out on the Vikings for a little bit last time, didn't you? You checked out on that. Okay, and that's understandable. But
So I'm watching more football than I'm watching the Vikings.
okay, I understand that. I will say, just on the record, I was a JJ defender from the beginning. Even when times were tough, I said, look, he's
McCarthy?
JJ McCarthy. Yeah,
Okay.
sorry.
Because we got two JJs,
no,
so it gets a little confusing.
I would call him Jets. I would say JJ.
Now, okay, cool.
Right.
cool,
I would
cool.
say JJ
Going
Mack.
forward, we got Jets and we got JJ.
Yeah, Jets is Justin Jefferson, which is that's kind of what he's known as on the team. And then JJ, they call him that, or JJ Mack. I've heard that name start to come about. I even thought that might be the case. But at first, everyone was like wanting to burn him at the stake. And I was just like, he's 22 years old. Look at some of the right away, even before the NFL comparisons came in, I said he reminds me of Josh Allen, the way he's overthrowing a bunch of his receivers. Like Josh Allen had that fastball and that overthrow coming into his rookie season, but he still had some. Because if anyone remembers Josh Allen, we played him his rookie season, and I believe it was against Eric Kendricks, where Josh Allen had.
I was at this game. I know exactly what
where
player
where he
leapt
leapfrogged
over him. Yep, I was at that fucking game. You didn't even have to. As soon as you said, I think, I was like, I know exactly what play you're talking about, because I was at
where
that
he
game.
just made us look a fool.
I watched that happen because I still owned season tickets back then.
And
which is part of my downfall.
And so that's what I'll
as
say
a
is
Vikings
J.J.
fan.
McCarthy reminds me of Josh Allen in his rookie season, where there were these flashes of athleticism, flashes of an arm, but they said he's inaccurate, he's overthrown dudes, he can't put touch on it, he's got too much zip on the ball. And then all of a sudden the last week or two, all they're doing is comparing the two guys' combine tape and the shoulder angle to, and I said, there it is, the fucking, and then
I said the same thing, by the
know
way.
what the
I
other thing-
literally, to my buddy Anwar, if you're watching this, shout out to Anwar. I literally texted the same thing because I know quarterbacks. I know quarterbacks more than any. I know ball, but
I'd like to think I have a pretty good eye for it. Nobody knows.
But let
you
me
know?
just say this. Let me just say this. I know ball, and I've had a propensity for calling out greatness and busts. Okay, to where I've gained credibility among certain circles, and people. I've never had this much influx of people going, so JJ, what do you think about JJ? What, and Shador, that's the other one.
Oh, sure.
Because I'm very opinionated
Shador.
about quarterbacks. Okay, now here's the thing, Shador. I literally said if I were a GM, I wouldn't draft him before the first round. People called me crazy, and then he was drafted in the first round.
Shador?
Sorry, fifth round.
Oh, I was like,
So then with JJ, people asked me, what do you think about, and here's the thing, I'm going to be honest, still to this day, right now, this is still my take. I don't know. And here's why.
Yeah.
When he was in Michigan, he's playing under Jim Harbaugh. Okay?
who's
the quarterback
a run
guru.
first kind of like.
Well, he is and he isn't, because when he had Kaepernick in San Francisco, what I'm saying is this. Jim
For
Harbaugh,
the layman, I was going to say run first, but you and I know it's more nuanced than that.
here's what I'm saying.
Quarterback friendly.
Jim Harbaugh is a quarterback guru. Okay? Kevin O'Connell is a quarterback guru.
That was the thing that gave me hope about J.J. McCarthy, is that I thought he's had very good tutelage these years.
Except it could be like the video game Madden thing where you get a buff. So you might be 80 overall in real world, but you get with this coach, now you're 87 overall. If we improperly evaluate you, we think you're 87 overall,
I see.
and you get with our quarterback guru who has a 7+. Now we think we can make you into a 94, but reality says you're actually an 80, which we can at best bring you back to an 87.
I see.
That's at best.
I see.
That's at best. So what I'm simply admitting is I don't know. But to go back to what you were saying is I literally am on record with the homie Anwar saying after one full game, this was after the Bears when I watched him play, I said, I'm not saying he is this guy, but play style, J.J. McCarthy is somewhere between, and I quote, Baker Mayfield and Josh Allen.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was
totally,
exactly,
totally.
and I said that after the Bears game because
Totally.
I will not,
With
I
that,
will not give you
with
an
that
assessment
run in on
this
the
guy.
right to the end zone, like with that the kind of it's the moxie, it's the athleticism, it's the I 100% see the
Yeah, it's the moxie. It's and this is the thing. If JJ is going to be successful, it's actually ironically not going to be his athleticism. It's going to be all the cerebral, intellectual parts of the game.
I mean, I always believe that about a quarterback, and that's where I was actually glad that he didn't play last year, not because of injury. I felt bad for that.
He should have sat regardless.
Right. I would have preferred that he sat no matter what last year, and especially, with Sam Darnold, but there was one or two moments in the year where there was the speculation oh, well, if you have a healthy J.J. McCarthy, the second anything goes wrong, the fans are going to be clamoring for him.
Which is the same reason, by the way, you don't bring in a legitimate
some top tier
quarterback
competition.
You do not want to mess with
you
this
want a
kid's
clear
ego.
backup.
Yes, you want a competent dude.
I
You
will
know
say-
ball. You know ball. This is interesting because you never struck me as a ball guy, but this is because
not
what we're
all
talking
ball,
about,
just football.
But what we're talking about here is the psychological aspect of leadership and coaching above and beyond the playability of a guy. Stay close to that, Mike.
I apply it all the time. I apply it all the time to music as well. Now, I won't get into how I do that here and there, but essentially,
maybe we should though. It might.
Well,
be
I kind of. So I think of a game. If you think the players, it's always if you've heard Belichick, we're on to Cincinnati. It doesn't matter what happens. We're on to Cincinnati.
That's the next gig,
and that's the whole thing. We're on to Zora Darling. We're on to Dayblock. We're on to Midway Saloon. We're on to we don't need to worry about what happened with this show. Yeah, we'll look at the tape. We'll assess. We're going to try and improve.
And
but
then on to the next
all
one.
all that we need to focus on right now. We don't need to focus on this show 3 shows away. We need to focus on the show coming up right now.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter the show 3 shows away if we fucking bomb this next show. Because maybe that show gets whatever.
Perfect, dude. Perfect.
But
Perfect
the analogy is there where it's you should always be focusing on your next show, and. Because I've been guilty of that.
Don't get too high or too low on your previous show.
On a win or loss. Yes, exactly. Because I've had them both,
and you said it
and
perfectly.
I've had many of them.
Evaluate the tape. So literally, if you have the ability, set up your cell phone in the back of the room,
or somebody will probably have filmed some footage of you, and you'll look at it and you'll think, "Oh shit, that was not good," or you'll think that was good.
Maybe, but if you really want to
do it yourself,
if you really want to buy an insurance policy on your own band. Grab your own cell phone.
All the great bands
grab
filmed
your own
themselves.
fucking cell phone.
They all
worst
did it.
case scenario. I'm saying worst case local band. Grab your own fucking cell phone.
Even just a voice memo. Set it on your amp.
No, video.
I'm just saying at the very least. I
want
understand
video.
what you mean.
We want
video
because we're talking about reviewing the tape, right?
Yes, you're right.
We want
you're
the
right.
full experience.
But I'm just saying, at the very least, you can even do a voice memo from your pocket, and it will
worst
probably,
case scenario. Worst case scenario. But that's still here's the simplest thing.
You're so capable of setting up the video.
Phone,
yes.
Take your cell phone, put it in the back of the club, put it next to a bouncer,
or just give it to a friend and make sure they
nobody
keep
steals
it. You know,
and just I'm saying again, worst case scenario. So you don't have a friend. You're in another town.
Or even
set it next to the fucking bouncer at the goddamn door so you can film your entire set, even if it sounds like shit. As long as
then you
can
see,
hear the notes, hear the beats, and see the performance,
and you can evaluate.
You can review that tape, and don't get too high and don't get too low on that performance.
There were good moments, there were bad moments, and
move on to the next show.
Yeah, and I
make
mean,
your notes, make your adjustments, move on.
I think it's the reason maybe I don't know if it's the reason I'm interested in both things, because outside of music, football is like my second favorite thing. Like, it's my one vice that I have outside of music where I really indulge and like I spend time to like I let the Vikings affect my emotional stability.
Yeah, that's what I
which
had
I
to
don't.
stop.
I know we talked about this, and I wish I didn't do that, but the reason I think is there is a lot of correlation in the approach to the thing where it's like you're working very hard to refine these very specific skills in order to get into a very specific position.
Yes.
That is in a very elite and illustrious and position.
It's a meritocracy.
And then once you're there in the game, it's like staying there is just as tough. You have to stay sharp and stay on top, and you always have to focus on the next thing, and you always have to be God, I can't think of the phrase right now, but just like, forget that last play type of thing. You got a short-term memory. You got to have a short-term memory.
The new buzzword phrase is be where your feet are.
Yeah. Same difference. Yeah.
It's just the new phrase that's going on. Be where your feet are.
That's
and what
the
they're
kids
saying
call
is,
today. Yep.
What they're saying is,
don't dwell on the past.
Yes, your feet are, or don't look towards the future.
Yep.
Here's where you are today.
Don't look 3 games down the road. Don't worry about last game.
Exactly, dude. Exactly, man.
And that's why I see the football analogy applied to music so much, and it's I think why I'm compelled to love both things, and how I even try to use football in a disciplined manner towards music. And what's funny is when I was younger, I came in super sharp and disciplined and just militaristic, and I was Johnny Ramone because Ramones were our favorite band. My first band was called the Cretans, and I was like, oh yeah, I want to be the sharp military guy because I was already just up at 6 a.m. Just because kind of my dad just sort of drilled that into me, and but then all of a sudden being in a punk band, it was seen as very uncool to be on time and following the rules, and so it was funny because I was at this huge dichotomy of like, oh, I want to be this very structured guy who does things by the book and just tries to be nice to everybody, but then being a punk band, you're supposed to be snotty and rude and show up late but we're right, that was a false, that was a young me misunderstanding what punk even was, and only seeing it from the more I learned about punk, the more I learned it is about being who you are and not. I've had many conversations with people about even the visualization of punk. Like, I've been at punk shows, where I can guarantee you I'm just as punk as anybody else, but I don't look the part because I don't have enough studs in my leather jacket. I don't have enough whatever. I don't have my hair isn't spiky enough. I don't fit the exact I don't fit the exact profile. So thus you're looked at like you're some sort of lesser than, like you don't care as much, when in fact you're in front, you're singing every word just as much as anyone else. You love the music. That's why you're there. And
my understanding is punk is self-expression and going against the establishment,
and it's supposed to be
whatever other
inclusive.
people tell you you're supposed to be.
Right, exactly. It's supposed to be inclusive in the sense that, but that's the funniest thing about punk, and the reason I sort of left it all behind, because I was like, oh, I'm supposed to be anti-establishment, and I'm not supposed to go towards this, and I'm supposed to.
And then you created an establishment that told me what I was supposed to be and dress like.
But if I don't dress exactly like you, then I'm not actually punk. I was like, that felt so.
That whole thing is anti-punk.
Exactly.
That's why when I say crazy shit like the most punk rock thing you could be right now is a Christian Republican, and people go, well, being a Christian Republican is exactly opposite of punk. And I'm like, no, it's not.
Punk is doing what's maybe not necessarily popular, but what you believe in.
Exactly. So if you're a young 18-year-old kid and you genuinely believe in God and you genuinely believe
that's
in
your beliefs, then absolutely, then that's what you believe in.
And it's only punk rock because
it's not
even true,
popular.
Right? Exactly. And
because
it's not
because you can be ridiculed for doing it. That's
Exactly.
what's punk rock about it. And now me personally,
punk rock is
I'm
a
not
mindset
I'm not a big
more
religious
than
guy.
it
I'm not
is-
a big believing in God guy. But maybe if you are, and people are ridiculing you for that, that's punk rock. If I'm not, and I have people ridiculing me for that, that's punk rock. Going against the establishment is punk rock.
Exactly.
And not even just it's
and
not
whatever that establishment happens to be.
right.
At
It's
that
not
time.
for the sake of going against the establishment. It's believing in your own beliefs and being who you are, without not without compromise. Because it's not like you can't be taught not to reason. Like
Without
if you're
conformity.
if you're given. Not conforming. That's the word. I mean that was the word back in the day. Nonconformist, But that was the thing, because I realized as I was getting ostracized from these punk shows for just dressing like that, I was like, no, I want to dress more practical, just in like a hoodie or whatever. They were like, yeah, no, you're not punk rock, And I was like, well, I'm just not conforming to the look you guys all have, but I'm still punk rock. And no, you're not. And it's like, well, then you're not real punk rock. If you're, like,
if I have to wear a uniform, it's no longer punk rock.
That's because a uniform is exactly conformity, and that was the irony with me with punk rock back in the day, where I realized, like, wow, punk rock isn't about looking exactly like a spike guy with a jacket and studs and everything. It's about being
That's
who
the
you
punk
are, no
rocker
matter
look.
what.
That's the punk rocker look.
That may be the
but that doesn't
may be
mean
the
you are
cliche
punk.
look. Right, exactly. That
And
may
that's
be
the difference, right? Like
that's
you
the
can look like.
that's the punk rock Halloween costume.
That's exactly what I'm saying. You can look like a punk rocker. You can do all the things
You can
that
look
punk
punk
rockers
rock,
do.
but you cannot be punk rock.
But
Yes.
are you punk rock?
And I know so many dudes
That is
who
a huge
I
distinction.
know so many guys who looked punk rock but were not punk rock. And that's why I say, to the end of this day, I may not look punk rock, but believe me,
Let me put it this way. If you have this mustache and you put on a cowboy hat and you walk around in downtown Minneapolis, you are currently
punk rock. Because it's anti-establishment, it's anti-conformity, it's not
to
what
that
people
area at
Right.
that time and what's
punk
cool
rock is
and
going
popular.
against the whatever grain there is. Punk rock is going against it.
Yep, yep.
And that's who I've always
And there
been.
is
And that's
a little
why
bit of idea. Let's add this.
at
Let's
my
add
core
this.
I've always been punk rock.
Let's add this. There's a little idea, and this is metaphorical. Okay, you can stretch this as far as you want, but there's a little aspect of if you're being punk rock, because that's what we're really talking about. It's a mindset. It's a state of being more than it is a sound of music or a way you dress. I'm going to add this in there. There's a little element of willingly putting yourself in danger because you're so saying outwardly, I am not willing to conform.
Hashtag cancel Lazarus.
Would you agree with that?
Yes, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're not maybe danger, maybe the definitional word there, where it's like,
It could be political.
How do you
it
define
could
that?
be social. It could be physical.
But what you mean by danger? You're putting yourself in harm's way via either verbally or physically. Like, to be punk rock can be to put oneself in harm's way. Yes, for the sake of standing up for what you believe in.
Yeah. It's you're not if you're truly being punk rock, you don't skirt from danger based on perceptions or conformity.
And that's where there's been many times where I've been told,
Will, you're pretty young. Would you still agree with that?
There's
Shut up, bitch.
There's
No,
the
I'm just
younger
kidding.
me
I'm
that
just kidding. I had to say
that has
that.
come out plenty of times when I'm doing this stuff that I'm doing in this day and age with the people I'm doing it with. There's been many a times where people, not like some hold me back physically kind of thing, but a kind of like, hey man, you're getting a little too wild for us. And I was like, you might forget, I come from this kind of a background where it's like we're told to, you're supposed to speak your mind, and if you see injustice, you're supposed to see something, say something type of thing. Like, so sometimes it's hard for me to bite my tongue. But it's funny because oftentimes I always joke with that, like, because I come from that pure punk rock, like anti-establishment, anti-conformity, essentially what they call me, or what they call anyone like this nowadays, is a contrarian. So whatever the popular thing is, I'm always against it. And so that means
Sure.
I'm always pissing
Sure, yep.
everybody off.
Yep.
So I'm by definition, I'm always annoying the majority of people. So that was also part of the reason the whole cancel
That
Lazarus
goes
thing.
back to actually.
It does, and it's the whole reason the cancel Lazarus thing made sense, because I was like, you know what? I'm just annoying enough for this to be believable. Sure. Like, and I'm just.
I find you incredibly likable, though. So
some people do, and some people don't. You know?
I genuinely can't see the edgy side of you, but maybe that's because I came from a world that was genuinely physically dangerous with actual tangible violence.
And you can see me sitting here right now in front of you. I'm the least from a physically dangerous or imposing person. I'd like to think of myself as a pretty gentle and warm person when I'm talking to people.
Let me put it this way. You and I are not best friends.
Not at all. We've never hung out once. We've never seen each other except for these 2 times that we've done these podcasts.
That's not true. That's not true.
Oh, yes, one at the Amsterdam show. You're right. Yes, I forgot about that.
You came out to one of our shows.
Yes,
yep.
I did, and it was awesome, and we hung out for a while.
That's where I
first met Will as well.
Correct. I think you technically missed our band, though.
No, I watched your whole set.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow! I thought you showed up late.
No. I mean, I might have missed.
I apologize.
I might have missed the first song or two, but no, I remember watching a good Montoya Machine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched the majority of the set.
But where I'm going with this is like at this point in our relationship, in our buddyship, neither one of us are inviting each other to. I'm not inviting you to my fucking what do you call it? The well, that's just revow. Like what do you do when you remarry your wife? You like you renew your vows.
Well, that's just because neither of us are Diddy.
And you're probably not inviting me to your wedding if you got married tomorrow. However,
I don't invite anyone to anything.
I do believe I'm a great judge of character. And here's what I'm saying. If you said, "Hey, I'll do it," and I was like, "Oh, for real? You'll do it?" And you said, "Yeah, I'll do it," I would absolutely allow you to babysit my kids.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
think I'm that good of a judge of character to believe that you're genuinely that kind of a soul.
You could 100% trust me around your kids for sure. But and I wouldn't. I would
trust you to watch my kids.
I wouldn't pull out R. Kelly Trapped in the Closet either. I wouldn't make, even though it is a fantastic piece of art. You got to separate the art from the artist in that situation. I don't personally. Some people celebrate Father's Day. I don't. No, I'm just
get what I'm saying.
Yes,
though,
I do.
like...
I do. And actually, I take that as a huge compliment that you can judge my character like this and would say something like that, because I know what a I've been trusted around other people's kids before, and I'd love to say fucking none of them died.
I don't find you to be a controversial, abrasive soul. So if people find you
that was also the funny part about the whole
or offensive, I would accuse them of being prudes. That's what I would accuse them of being.
That's the whole thing about the cancel Lazarus thing, where it's just like, look, for the most part, when it comes to Facebook, I might say a few salty things here and there, but it's all really just like, hey, can we all it's mostly just annoyance at people who disrespect other people in the world, you know? It's never anything really a hot take or anything. So, yeah, it's like for people who know me, it's like they know, like, I'm passionate about the things I like. I can be very intense about music and my opinions and everything like that. But when it comes to most other things, I'm pretty soft-spoken and pretty just happy to go with the flow on fucking whatever else. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, I just like to be left alone. That's all I want. Like I said, 2 doors between me and the next person is all I want. Like, and so it'd be great. And you know who else had that? Michael Jackson. You know what they thought of him? Oh, that must be so he can... I won't say it, but like...
Diddle kids.
If you get demonetized, it's not my fault.
I said diddle.
Oh, okay. Well,
you said diddle.
But anyway, but some people just want that amount of privacy, no questions asked, and I forgot where I was going with that. Anyway.
Yeah, what were we just talking about? I did get, as soon as I said diddle, I got distracted.
Right, myself too. I was just like, boy, how do I come back from this?
Yeah, what the fuck were we just talking about?
Well, you were talking about Michael Jackson, and I was looking at these cable ramps here.
That's somewhat helpful.
I need more beers.
Do you have
any more of these light things?
I got a Miller High Life sitting in the door.
Oh yeah, I'll
mini
take that
fridge.
for sure.
There's 2 sitting in there actually. Yeah, what the fuck were we talking about, dude?
But I was talking about like wanting my privacy and like liking being alone. I can't remember exactly why, but it is something that I talk about pretty much anytime anyone will listen. And all my
if anyone wants to save us in the comments and
yeah,
remind
actually,
us where we were
do we
going
have
with
any
this.
comments we could pull? Has anybody commented throughout this entire live stream? I don't know if anyone would. I've commented on other people.
I'm sure we have comments. It's just if they're worth engaging.
Is there any way to look that up?
Because my friends and fans that watch the podcast, it's mostly just dick and fart jokes.
Because I do have a couple
Which
more.
is why we stopped getting into the fucking comments.
I do have a couple more interesting points to potentially talk about. Like I
Let it
said,
rip.
What's that?
Let it rip.
Well, so I'll say it here because it would be awkward to tag both individuals. Have you heard of the band Sum 41?
Of course.
Of course. I have too. They were one of my favorites, if not my favorite, when I was a kid. Yeah, I know.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Dude, I'm gay as fuck.
I'm just joking.
I'm gay for Sum 41. So, anyways, a super funny story. Or I was a fan of them for the first 3 or 4 albums, and I was a fan early on, so I like to claim that like I was an early fan. But I dropped off listening to them as I got older and as their music progressed because I liked. It's funny because if you know their early music, it wasn't exactly pop punk. There's a little more metal infusion and shit like that, like some classic 80s metal. But here's the funny thing. In Sum 41, there is famously, if you look online, a big falling out between the lead singer and the drummer, who are the 2 original members from the same little hometown. You know, they're the 2 guys who started it. The other guys kind of too, but the singer and the drummer, the main guys. They had the main falling out, I don't know what, like 10 years ago, something like that. I haven't been keeping up. But so they're in completely separate camps. The singer went on with the band. The drummer went on to live in Australia and just live on with his family, you know. I think he does realtor shit. I think he's a realtor now. But the funniest thing about this is that drummer, Steve-O32, he was always kind of a big personality in the band on his early DVDs, and so it's just always a big fan. And like sometime this year, I noticed that he started a YouTube channel, and I started watching right because he would tell old stories about like the early days of Sum 41. I was like, I've been dying to hear this shit from the inside since it's some of my most treasured memories, like watching some of this shit. And so he at one point he does a live stream where he's like, oh, by the way, I'm looking to put together a musical, but I need somebody who has experience writing music that sounds like a musical on his YouTube, like on a live chat. And I happened to be listening to it. And so I responded, I said, through my Lazarus account on YouTube, I was like, that's right up my alley. He's like, because he said something in the vein of like South Park meets something or other. I was like, buddy, I was like, this is my shit, like funny, comical, musical type. And so we got in touch via that way. And then, I just started watching his YouTube channel because I don't really use Instagram that much. But then because he said something about like, send me a message on Instagram. So I followed him on Instagram and I sent him a message on Instagram there, and he got back to me and he said, okay. And he started sending me tracks, and we started working on a couple of things. He sent me like 2 or 3 tracks now, and I've been trying to give it like a musical production to his tracks. Simultaneously, no joke, like 2 weeks after I start doing that, I happen to like, one of my suggested things is Derek Whibley, the lead singer of Sum 41, because now I'm following the drummer. So, and I never thought to do that, to follow the guys in Sum 41 before on Instagram, but now it's popping up because I'm already following Steve-O, the drummer. So Derek pops up, and he's promoting this new Walking Disaster t-shirt line he has. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And he not even thinking about it, one time, no joke, it was a day I was supposed to be at work. And I got to go home early because we were super overstaffed. And so it was like I was there at 5 a.m. and by like 6:30 a.m. I was back at home. And so I'm wide awake early morning. And I look at this post from the night before, and it's Derek Whibley, who I just followed a day or two before. And he's posting about like, hey, I'm looking for a theme song for my new t-shirt company, Walking Disaster, or my new clothing brand, sock brand, Walking Disaster. And he was just putting out an open call on Instagram. And so I was like, oh, fuck yeah. So I just start going, walking disaster, walking. You know, I just start going da 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 da, like I just walking.
Dun, 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 dun.
So that's the all I started going is walking disaster. So I go 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 and walking disaster. If you walk slow or you walk faster, boom doom 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 doom, head to toe if you really wanna rock. Lose the boring socks. Bow. And so I wrote that little theme song and I filmed it because he said film it and tag Walking Disaster, tag Derek Whibley. And they shared it like the next day. They reached out to me via email and said, hey, can you send us that file so that we can post it on the Walking Disaster? And this was like less than 24 hours later. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like within 2 weeks, I've had 2 members of Sum 41 essentially reach out to me regarding music. And it's by sheer coincidence. And the funniest part about it is those are the 2 members of Sum 41 who don't talk to each other. So I'm like, do I inform these that
Nope.
Right, I didn't. No, I was like, okay, no, just let it roll. Because I was actually in such a, like, I was
Not
like,
your
I
responsibility.
was having to
let
talk to
them
people.
know.
I was talking to people. I was like, what should I do right here? Because I'm so conflicted.
Just do your job.
Because I'm kind of softly, you know. And now both things, nothing crazy is happening with either end of these. It's just I'm just softly working with either one. But like, you know, you never know. It's something, and it's something that's sort of. I bet I'm the only person in the world that is actively working with those 2 members of Sum 41
At the same
like,
time. Yeah,
at the
for sure.
same time, like. So that's one little claim to fame I have. Like I'll always have that on my resume, and I sound douchey telling the story.
I mean,
know,
you
but, like,
definitely don't. You definitely don't sound douchey. No, and you're building your resume, man, and that's what it is. It's just it's that slow drip, right? It's you could try to go viral, cute, adorable. We get it. We everybody understands the allure of going viral. Or you can do the real job, which is the slow drip. And you can do this in every single facet of the music industry. No matter what role you want to play. Where I made my money was being a jobber. Right? So, like, there was no claim to fame. I had to sign a bunch of NDAs. Still can't talk about most of them. The ones I can talk about, I don't even remember those bitches' names. Like, they never amounted to anything. You know what I mean? So, but those were the best paying gigs I ever had in my life. And I did a lot of really cool things on that income. And it was special. It was memorable. It is something that I will be able to retire with pride. Even if I achieve nothing more from this day going forward, I will still be able to retire and
Right.
look people in the eyes and say I was a credible
right.
live performing musician and I did dope shit.
That's what I want to, but as a songwriter, and the only thing
I'll be able to look my kids in the eyes if they want to be musicians and be like, I know everything.
as a
that you're going
songwriter,
through.
though, the only real
Unless they become studio session musicians, which I have zero experience in. I can't pretend I was hired to come in and do recordings. I can't bullshit that. I was never that good.
the reason I still have drive as a songwriter is because the thing is as a songwriter, until you have a song that somebody recognizes, you've never truly done your job, kind of thing. Like, you've never actually made it until somebody says, oh, you wrote that? Like, I mean,
Right,
that's
sure.
really the one moment I'm waiting for in my life.
Sure. And that's one avenue that, just like creating a number 1 hit single or being like, oh, you played that show, these are very niche goals.
Yeah. And
Respectable, realistic
I would say that's the
goals,
most
but-
egotistical goal I have in my life is I want someone to I want there to be a song playing, and I want someone to say, and either I say it or someone says it, and it's oh, you wrote that? That's the from a most egotistical standpoint, that's one of the things I want the most in life, is just for somebody to to recognize that, like, oh, I love that shit, and I didn't realize you created it or were part of creating it.
And if you're lucky enough to make a lot of money off of it, cool.
That's amazing. You know, if you can make a living, that's even better. But yeah, what I really, that's the validation I seek. I you know, as this therapy session has revealed to me. What time are we at, anyways?
We got about another half hour if you want to
Okay.
keep going.
Yeah, there was I guess there was a couple other topics we could maybe touch on, if you want.
I had one question I wanted to ask you, but
yeah.
I can't seem to recall it off the top of my head.
Oh, okay. Well, I might go to the bathroom real quick if that's all right. I'm so sorry to the watchers of your. Hey, is there anyone? Did we ever find out? Is there any questions or anyone in the chat right now?
Yeah, we got anything in chat?
Jeremy dropped a couple emojis, and then there was a comment relating to something that you said hours ago, which is no longer relevant.
Well, bring it up anyways. I'll riff on it while he goes to the bathroom.
No, I'd be curious to hear this as well, though. Was it something? Who said?
Go to the bathroom. I'll riff on it.
I want to hear. Though.
And then you'll hear me riff on it. So go to the bathroom, and then I'll riff on it, and then you can pick up where because I got to go to the bathroom when you get back, anyways. So what's the comment here? Bring it up on screen. Do you know how to bring it up on screen? You can pop that chat out. No. Go to the dashboard. Nah, bro. No.
To read it to you, I've got it here. Like,
okay, where are you looking at it on your phone? Yeah, don't do that. Go up to create. Yeah. Go live. So here's our dashboard. Yep. Bring that up. Yep. And then see in that right hand side, yeah, that. Now in the top right corner in those three dots, you can pop this out. See it pop out chat. Now you can get rid of the regular internet browser. Yeah, and then you can just give us this chat. When you want to, you can just bring this over here. Yeah, there you go. Shout out to Stereo Sympathy. Look at how Sleep Token released Even in Arcadia. Very similar to what Jared's talking about. Oh, yeah. So he was talking about
the drip strategy that you were probably. Jeremy Blake sent some horns and some skulls. I see. Hey, thank you, Jeremy.
So I think what he's referring to, is not just the slow drip idea, but a version of the slow drip where I think Sleep Token dropped like 3 or 4 songs and then dropped the whole album.
Also, somebody said show feet.
Yeah, let's show some feet.
That must
baby.
be in reference to when you asked if I was a foot guy or something. We did a Tarantino.
Fetish.
Yeah. And maybe that's what I got canceled for. If you didn't tune in earlier, you'll never know because I spoke about it and I clarified all the heinous crimes that I committed, and I apologize for my bad behavior. I'm only hoping I can be on the redemption tour now to my insufferable acts upon humanity.
It's absolutely heinous behavior. How could you, dude?
But if only there was a song that redeemed it all. Check earlier in the stream. We played it twice.
We might play it a third time.
Yeah, we can maybe.
We might play it a third time because we don't give a shit. We'll do whatever we want.
And I mean, this is the live premiere of it. This was the whole point. I mean, it wasn't the whole point of coming on, but this worked out really well that I was ready to premiere a new song as we had this scheduled.
Yeah, I wish people would think more like that, right? Like, we're doing a thing, we're going to build this up.
I tried to think like,
this
hey,
podcast is just part of your cycle.
I didn't want it to be just nothing. Like, I was trying to make this like, like I wanted people to watch this.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Like.
And people do. That's the thing is, like, it's not a big podcast. It's a small podcast. But the people who genuinely, like, watch this.
I was making my effort.
They genuinely, my fans are real. They're legit.
Yeah.
And if they like, here's the thing, man. It's not a big audience. But if they like your shit, you gain real fans. That's the thing. It might only be 3. It might only be 30.
I don't need to.
Right? It might only be 300. Because I only have 500-600
even one positive
subscribers,
interaction is enough for me.
But it's real, and that's the thing is, like, when you come on podcasts like this, you get access to people who genuinely are interested in the guests and they like hanging out with me. They like the vibe, right? They like the bullshit aspect. It's not a pure interview.
We're in the bonus hours now. I'm getting real with people.
But they're not here for fluff. They're here to get to know you guys, man. And if they like you,
and
they
thank
have
you
a
for
greater
that.
chance of liking your music.
Thank you for giving me the chance to come on and giving me
Of course,
the chance to
Thank you for being here
to
dude.
premiere a
It's great.
song, and you're introducing me to people I might not have otherwise been introduced to, or maybe reminding like Jeremy Blake. We don't interact a ton on social media, probably because we're both just dudes and don't fucking go on social media a whole lot. But I see that he left a comment there, and
There's
think
a
that
50% chance that Jeremy Blake and you interact because of this podcast.
Possibly,
there's
yeah.
a coin flip chance where
absolutely
he discovered you, followed you on social media, and now you guys bullshit with each other.
And the point is like that's why you do things like this, is to one person at a time. If even one person discovers my
Keep going.
music
I
or
gotta
my
piss.
song.
Will, fill in for me if you got any
Absolutely.
questions. Fill the back.
Actually, I would
fill the
like
gap.
I would like to speak to Will here. If you're on the mic, do you have a mic?
Uh-oh.
Yes, I do. Unfortunately.
Yeah, so I just want to say that we did actually meet at the Amsterdam. What was that? Like 2 months ago.
Way longer, like 5
Okay.
maybe.
Okay, I have a terrible. Obviously, okay, so you can see how my sense of time is. But so you know what? Yeah, it was nice out. It was like summertime, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and you. I forget, you were not. Were you playing that show, or were you just like helping photograph and do like video stuff?
No. Jared has recruited me to be his drum tech, or at least I was at the time.
Right, and at the show, that's what you were doing. Yeah. Okay, yeah, and so that's what I just wanted to mention, like, because there was a different guy last time I was here, and so it was cool to see a friendly, familiar face here on the running point. So shout out to Will, drum tech extraordinaire / I guess all around media guy running point here on the podcast. It was, like I said, it was nice to see a familiar face when I came in here, and I said, "Oh, hey man, like good to see you." Like, because I remember us chatting a little bit, and didn't you say your older brother was a musician that you knew, or that?
No, that would be Jared's little brother. We jam together sometimes, and
you knew Jared's little brother.
yeah, and that's
what it was.
That's how I
Okay.
got to be here.
Right. I do. We had this conversation. I do remember you saying about that. I couldn't remember. I remember there was a brother situation, and you were the littler. You were the kind of the younger, newer guy in the thing there. And so yeah, I just want to give a shout out to Will, because it was awesome to meet you before at the Amsterdam doing hard work, and then you've been doing a great job.
Thanks,
helping
man.
run the podcast smooth here. Do you got a handle that people can follow you at?
Yes, Will the Shill.
Will the Shill on that's fucking awesome.
It's goated. It's goated.
And is that on everything, like Instagram, YouTube, whatever, or like
Instagram and TikTok.
Instagram and TikTok? Will the Shill, and is that how SHILL?
Yes.
Like Will the Shill. That's fucking awesome. That's
Isn't
great.
it the greatest of all time, dude? Will the shill. Because he's absolutely not a shill for anybody.
Well, of
That's
course,
my
anybody
beautiful
who
irony.
would say that would clearly see the irony of it. Like that's. I appreciate the artistic direction of that. Like, it's probably why you and I got along so well, because I like to consider myself an artist too, who likes to push the boundaries of what people think via names and things like that. So, yeah, that's awesome, man.
No, Will's great. We gotta get Will employed here quick, because honestly, here's the thing, man. His skills are improving so quick. He's going to be out of this town soon. Like, the goal is within a minimum of 2 years, if not one, from basically today. We're trying to get him to Nashville. That's basically.
I remember you talking about this at Amsterdam. This plan was being softly talked about.
Yep.
And for any musicians out there, that's how long it fucking takes sometimes. 6 months, 12 months, 18 months planning to make something happen.
And sometimes it's skills. Like, we got to get Will to the
X
experience level.
X amount of things.
And the talent level. He's already got the pure talent, right? We got to get him to the level where he's got as Al Born would say, a full deck of cards.
Al Born?
Right? Local legend.
Oh, okay.
Great drummer. And Al says you got to be able to play with a full deck of cards. So Al's whole thing is he's ambidextrous. So if he can do it right-handed, he can do it left-handed. That's a different level of full deck of cards. That's crazy. What I'm talking about when I say full deck of cards or full playbook, any of those things, is you can shuffle, you can play polka, you can play blast beats and metal. You can play fucking funk rock. You can do anything anybody needs you to do. When we get you to that level, if your goal is, let's go back to where we started this podcast, right? Or not started this podcast,
I'm listening.
but one of the topics we touched on. If you want to get to the level where you're playing a full-time job, that's how you pay your bills, you pay your rent, you got a wife, you got kids, and you're playing music. If you're okay with playing some covers, especially at the beginning, you're probably going to play a lot of covers.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
you're playing with a full deck, so to speak, full playbook. Let's get you to Nashville, because this town can't do that for you. This town, you have to hold down a day job.
I 100%
you're
see
working
what you're
9 to 5. You're gonna have to worry about medical. You got to worry about medical benefits, and then suddenly you're 35. And
suddenly you're 35,
and
it's all taken and no given.
Dude, and suddenly you have a decision to make. Suddenly you have a decision to make, though. Do I join this other band, or do I take this promotion?
I'm fucking with you. I'm sorry, I had to do that.
I let it go, bud. I didn't interrupt you for a reason, dog.
I actually agree with the sentiment you're saying,
because you have the talent level and the work ethic.
Yes.
If you want to be a full-time musician,
the job is in Nashville as opposed to Minneapolis.
Nashville. At this point in time, Minnesota, Minneapolis, the Twin Cities, the greater Midwest region.
You are correct.
You can do it, but the amount of travel you're going to spend in order to be a full-time musician in this town.
Right, because the regional touring is more of a necessity.
Yes, dude, and suddenly your cover band, you're traveling 3-4 hours. Yeah, you're going to get paid thousands of dollars.
Bud's Podunk Bar in fucking Podunk, fucking Iowa for 7 hours. You know?
Or you could go to Nashville and just play on the Strip. Yeah, you're going to do mostly covers.
And you're still going to do, you're still going to do 10 hours, but you're going to do it at 3 different bars. Well, I mean, there's Logan was talking about that.
That's exactly what I'm referring to. Stahlecker broke it down. He goes, here's the thing, man. This is what you're getting, but you can.
It sounds like he's a really polished musician. I mean, that's good for. If I was that,
Stahlecker's elite.
See, he seems like it.
Stahlecker
I've never seen him play a whole lot, but it seems like it.
Let me put it this way: Stahlecker has 0 blind spots.
As a guitar player or as a musician entirely.
Both.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, great.
He had 2 or 3 blind spots about 3, 4, 5 years ago.
Worked on them, got them tightened up.
I called him out on the not on the podcast. After I didn't call him out. I was just like, hey, here's the holes in your game. Fix these. And then he did it immediately, overnight. I mean, and that's the difference. That's the difference between a pro and these amateurs.
Exactly.
When you get legit criticism, you just, okay, let's repair the hole in our boat.
Yes, as opposed to...
You just fix it. You just do it and you move on.
So many people nowadays are not... It's just amazing the inability to take criticism and to understand that it's not personal. It's legit criticism because it's like, hey, I think this is a way you could be better. Now... Granted, you may not give a fuck about my opinion and may think I'm totally off, but at the end of the day, it might seep into your mind and think like, okay, even though I don't give a fuck about that guy's opinion, he might have a point about, and because people don't say things, or at least I guess I don't say things just to hurt people or just to make them feel bad. I only say things because it's something I actually feel or think.
Or something that needs to be heard because no one else is willing to say it.
It's not even that.
I've fallen on that sword so many times,
I mean, I've done that accidentally too.
No, I've done it on purpose. Where I'm like, oh my god, I'm literally watching. I'm watching this whole thing go down, and no one's saying the thing that needs to be said. I've been that guy, and this is why I say Jared's an asshole. I'm not an asshole. I say the thing that needs to be said. And I wish
People
more
say
of
it
you
about
would
me
do
too.
that for me.
Well, yeah.
And don't say it about me. Don't say it around
If
me.
we
Don't
roll
say it
back
to
to the
other
beginning of the
people.
podcast,
Say it to me.
I said something to that effect earlier, where it's like, oh, that's the reason I like enticing people is because, but unfortunately, the only way you can get people to get you back the way that is to incite that same thing out of them.
Right.
But yeah, I totally feel the same way in the sense that it's like I want the harsh criticism, but I understand that most
And
people.
then it's up to us to filter it, right? Because everybody's got an opinion.
Yeah,
And we
yeah.
want those opinions if you're into that.
Well, and that's
Some
what
people don't want
that's what
those
developing
opinions.
a thick skin is understanding which of these criticisms
Are legit.
yes, and which are just hater criticisms, which is fine. Like, which I think is part of becoming the artist that you envision yourself becoming. Like, you're gonna have to have this incredibly thick skin, and in order to have that incredibly thick skin, you're gonna need to have had tough conversations and awkward interactions with people that harden you and thicken your skin like
And
that.
0% of this should come from the comments, by the way. Like, don't, if you release a song online, if you do a thing on YouTube, if you're doing a podcast, the comments, not a good place to get this from.
Oh no, I'm more so talking about personal, like, face-to-face interaction with people.
Just to clarify for the listeners.
Right.
That's why I'm.
Yeah, you
that's what
can
I'm
leave hater comments. That's the, I guess.
or even blow up comments.
That's-
People
that's-
that, oh, this is the greatest thing I've ever heard. Yeah, don't
Yeah.
get too high on that either, bud.
It's right, exactly. Like, yeah. That's where life can be. You're truly on your own as far as like
I think the biggest example of this that you got to be careful of, positive
Okay.
and negative. 100%. I think the biggest example you have to be careful with this is family and friends.
Yes, I have 100% heard this because
Family and friends sometimes will give you great criticism, but other times they will steer you off the path and they'll try to get you onto what they think you should do. And it doesn't really matter. And this is the weird part about being an artist, right? Is you're constantly weighing the professional and creative opinions of fans, peers, and advisors. And then you have to like somehow
along with your own feelings about
that's
it
what
all.
I'm that's what I was about to say. And then you have to bring that through the funnel of your own deal. And you somehow have to balance all of this. It gets super difficult,
No one
even convoluted, to try to figure out who's giving you good advice, because somebody might give you bad advice one moment and then they'll give you great advice at another moment. So you shouldn't disregard that person necessarily. It's
to
so
be an artist,
difficult.
to be an artist might truly be to be mentally ill.
Oh, at 100. If you're artistic and creative, you have mental illness
Because
for sure.
Because it's like you can't be reasoned with, like, in certain ways, but not.
If you're a true creative, you're definitely right, dude. If you're a true creative, there's a level of mental illness that is, I don't want to say unquantifiable, but it is a variable that is very difficult to nail down.
Define it exactly. You can't define why. I mean, I guess it's just like any disease where alcoholism drives people to drink. Any gambling addiction drives people to gamble. An artistic
compulsion.
It drives you to do this thing at the expense of your personal relationships and possibly even your happiness at times. Because it's like we sit here and we play the social media game. We all know we hate it, but we do it because our artistic thing, it says like, well, if we play it a little bit, we might be able to, it might allow us to satisfy ourselves artistically forever. Like, we might just hit the jackpot and become a famous artist and then just be able to be an artist and everyone else takes care of that other shit. That's every artist's dream, I think, is to just be able to be an artist and everyone else you pay people to just take care of the other shit.
That's it. That's it.
Like, because that's what I envision absolute success being. Is like where I have to worry about nothing except every day I wake up and I write songs. That's success to me. I put the TV on, I put a movie on, whatever movies I like. I love to watch the same movie over and over. I've been watching Forrest Gump for like 2 weeks in a row. I just
Great movie. We
love
talked about that before
love
the
it.
podcast.
I don't know if that was on the podcast
It was
earlier,
before
but-
the podcast.
Yeah, but love Forrest Gump. We were talking about Forrest Gump. Do a bunch of quotes. I won't do them now because we're getting more subdued. But
I used to do that with like Game of Thrones. I would just put that TV show on loop.
that's a good one to have on in the background because there's so much just slow expositional dialogue where it's a nice plotting show that like it's not like wow watch this. I mean sometimes there is those wow watch this scene things.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's a good background show.
It was good for me because I knew the show enough to where
Yes.
I could just put it on repeat.
Well,
to where when I needed a break, I could totally, and maybe this is what you're getting at. When I
What you're
needed a
about to
break,
say yes.
when I needed a break, I could totally disengage from music and engage a different part of my brain, whether that was logical, creative, doesn't matter. It really does. But it was
And
a surefire break from
Part
what,
of it though is it
as
has to
soon
be a
as I
show that you've
stopped.
already seen before. It can't be some new information
because
coming
then
in.
it'll suck you in and you
Right.
can't get back to making music.
And
Yep.
that's the reason that I'll often tell people, they say, why do you watch the same movie over and over for 2 weeks in a row? And I say, it's because I don't want to be paying attention to the movie. Like
Yep.
every once in a while, I might look up at it and notice a slightly different nuance or thing where it's like, wow, I never thought that was funny before, but now I do now. But the reason is like I don't want my attention drawn to the thing on the screen. That's just sort of some background filter so that I can, sit there and create. And every time my attention does get broken, I go there. But then I think, oh, that doesn't hold my attention for very long. Here I am back to my goal.
For me, I call it a kill switch. I call it a kill switch. And so I can be in my creative flow doing this thing over here, but when I need a break, I have this thing over here, and that prevents me from doing basically doom scrolling.
Yeah,
It prevents me from
I
jumping on my phone.
Yes,
It
absolutely.
prevents me from checking emails.
I've done things that
Going
that
into
stop
my
me from
text
doing all
messages.
those things. Yes.
Yep.
And you have to at this day and age because social media is designed in such a way that it's developed to suck you in
It
and
just
to,
keeps pulling
and to
you.
keep you there.
Yep.
And so you have to consciously fight against it. Us people, we have to fight against fucking social media because the shit is out to get you. It's not in your best interest. That's why I don't want to play these fucking 22-day social media games. It's like that's where I just think to myself, you know what? At the end of the day, I will die happier knowing that I was an artist. And yes, I posted to social media. I tried my hardest, but I didn't wreck myself trying to adhere to some schedule. I just made my art and then fuck it. Whatever I felt like thinking or posting or whatever, I almost feel like people might appreciate that more where it's just like, I'm unpredictable in that way. Where it's like, who knows what the fuck I'm going to say or do? Because I certainly don't. My catchphrase a lot of times afterwards if somebody says, oh, what did you mean by that? I always go, I can't be held accountable for what I say on stage. Like, because it really is that sort of thing where it's like when you're on stage, you don't know exactly what you're going to say or do. You're feeling it in the moment. And like, I've tried to rehearse shows and they turn out terrible. Like every time I try to practice or make sure a show is dialed in, it's always like I always end up feeling disappointed because it's not the way I imagined, as opposed to whenever I just fucking wing it and have fun on stage and feel the crowd out, I always think that was a fun show. That was a good show.
So I think this exact thing that you're describing right now, I think, and this is a perfect way to wrap this up. I think AI is going to ironically save exactly what you're talking about, because AI has already forced Will's entire generation, 21 years old, in his entire generation, it's already forced them off the internet. Like they're just not interested in anything Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels. It's all doom scrolling to them. They're out.
Yeah.
They're out. They're out. Second, the second phase of this is that going back to like that AI shit I made you or showed you. Anybody can do that. Anybody who can just literally jump into AI and create a banger. It's over.
Right.
So what this is going to show...
Because the average person won't be able to tell the difference.
Exactly. So what this is going to show, and I'm talking up to 30 years from now. It could be 2 years from now. But no less than 30. Okay? But it could be literally a year or two from now. AI is going to be so integrated in creating pop music that sounds cool that everybody will be able to do it. And everybody will say, and I quote a version of this, insert your own words, but this is my abrasive way of saying this. Cool story, dude. You wrote a banger. My autistic 11-year-old across the street wrote that same banger yesterday. None of that matters anymore. Here's what's going to matter. It's the same thing we're already experiencing right now. And why I'm so convicted in this is his generation. The only thing that will matter is, cool, you wrote a banger. We can all do that. We can all use AI to write bangers in some way, shape, or form. Someday, a version of you, 20 years from now, is going to do what you're doing right now. They're going to have everything lined up. Chord progression, verse, everything's perfect. Chorus is great. But they just can't get from the verse to the chorus. So this guy's going to go into AI and he's going to go, help me create a transition from this to this. And it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be perfect. No one's going to care. The only thing that's going to matter, and this is where I want to wrap this up, and I want to hear your closing statements on this. And I want to remind everybody that we have one more Lazarus track to play as we end this podcast. So I want to give you the mic here. I truly believe that the only thing that will matter is, can you get on stage with real instruments, actually perform that music? If my autistic 11-year-old neighbor can write a Drake-level banger, a Metallica-level Slayer, cool. But can you actually get up there and perform it? Can you actually push air in the room with tube amps? I think tube amps are going to make a comeback as well. Like, all of these things are going to suddenly matter more than they've ever mattered since maybe, I would argue, the 60s or the 70s. Tell me, do you think I am wrong? Do you think I'm right? Do you think I've got it a little twisted, right on the money? Anything you want. You got the mic. Wrap up this podcast, my friend.
Well, if you're asking me personally, I think of course, but I think you're asking more proverbial, like in general. I think there is some sort of an undercurrent of a push of like people using real gear and real amps again. Just as we talked about, it's like, it's sort of that punk rock thing where I think there's some people who just, even young people, because like even at work, there's like younger kids who work there, and I get to hear about them and their friends and like what they're into, and a lot of them are into more real old vintage shit. Like they already see how lame the whole AI thing is looked upon by society, and they don't want to like feed into that. They want to buck the system kind of thing, and to me that's very punk rock. So there might just be a segment of the younger generation of kids, and I'm talking like, 12 to 16, like the young kids in high school and middle school right now that are more interested in not following the trend that they've seen the generation before them follow. Because it's that generation especially, not quite so much you, Will, but like, just the few years, like kind of the 10 years older than you, I will just say fucking some of the worst fucking people that I
50% of his generation is completely fucked. The other 50%, they're fucking dope, dude.
It's this very specific group of people born in this very specific computer day and age, whereas like you and I, we're before and during the computer day and age. We knew what it was like before, and we know what it's like now. So we were the last of those people to understand what life was like before that technology, before phones and computers, back when you just walked outside and went to your neighbor's house to go see if they wanted to play, type of thing. Like, and nowadays kids, like my little brother, like I see it a lot in him, where the way he grew up was so different than the way I did. Now he has social interactions with people, but it's just very different than the way we did it. And that affected music in a way. I don't even know 100% how, but what I do think is happening is now there's been that sort of counter wave to the way we lived, but that wave has already hit its crest or its precipice, where now there's this other wave of people who want to go back to that way that we did it, and people who are starting to appreciate the nostalgia and reverence for the 90s and the before technology. You know, they're curious about like what would life be like without technology. Like I think young kids, there are some of them really young kids that they understand technology almost to the point where they're bored with it, and they say I want to live like a caveman. Like that almost intrigues them. And that might be the hope for music is dudes who want to do that caveman shit. And what's funny is when I think of that, I think of Van Halen, you know, because they kind of did a little bit of that jungle caveman aesthetic a couple of times. But those
literally, by the way,
Van Halen just strikes me as guys who just played and played and played in the garage. Like, and I feel like there's going to be crops of kids who come out there and it's like they don't want to do the phone thing. They just want to sit in the garage and play and play and play with their friends, and they become a great band. And so, and I've seen a couple of that with the North Star booking stuff. We've had a couple of younger bands come through where I'm just like, holy shit, these guys are totally throwback. Like these are kids who are clearly playing in their basement or their garage. Like this is not just some sort of like one of the people is a songwriter and this is a handful of their friends who can barely, you know, get along with it. And it's, you know, nobody knows what the future holds. I guess I have no comforting comments to end this, you know.
I think I do though, because I think I can add some comforting comments. I think the AI thing is ironically going to kill EDM and anything like that. And I think somewhere over the next 30 years it is going to reinvigorate live music with actual performing bands who can play their instruments and do the thing you hear on record live. I truly believe that from the bottom of my heart. I think it is nothing but encouraging because everybody's going to use it. Everybody's going to do it.
Yeah.
Like there's going to be a version of some version of me 20 years from now. Not literally me, but there's going to be a guy like me who's got like the banger of bangers ready in the chamber and just can't finish the song. And he'll pump it into AI and AI will give him exactly what he needs. And he's going to write a banger. And everybody's going to be writing bangers. And none of it, that's what I'm saying. When everybody can write bangers, the only thing that will matter is how much do you rehearse? How good of a live band are you? I truly believe this is the future. And I think it's going to save.
It's a cyclical thing where hopefully it will come back around to like which of these people can actually execute live as opposed to who is just a
Yes, and I think it's going to resurrect
I hope
rock
that's
music.
The future.
I truly believe that it'll resurrect rock music and metal music.
Very well could.
To be the most popular versions or funk or Motown.
Or just live music.
Right, but
Yeah.
these are genres that depend on the live performance of the music. Like pop music, no offense, does not depend on, like, as great as Christina
More of a
Aguilera
backing
is.
track type deal.
Exactly. You got it, brother. Well, let's play our last song. Lazarus wrote this.
So here's the thing on this one.
Do we want to even? Yeah.
I was just
we
going to say, the
we
last
do
time
want to
my buddies Modern Era were on here, they were joking. I forget what was said. You can go back and look at that episode, the Modern Era. What was it, 5, 6, 7 episodes ago? Some
I
shit
don't
like
know.
that. Whatever, maybe a couple months ago. But they were like, I was chiming in a couple times in the comments. You'll be able to see that there if you go back and look at the comments. And someone said something about a jingle, and they said, "Oh, I bet Lazarus could do it," like in real time. And so I did. I took that as a challenge upon myself. I was like, "Oh, now I've been called out live on the podcast. Now I have to do it." And then about, I think, 45 minutes later, an hour later, I texted it to Jack of the Modern Era.
I was super offended by this, by the way, because you didn't text
Well,
me.
only because
you had my number.
And here's the reason.
You son of a bitch.
I'll tell you the reason. I'll tell you the reason I texted Jack is because I knew Jack would be the first person to check his phone.
Fair enough. Fair enough. That is a legit, because I do ignore my phone.
Because I was watching him on the stream. He's just all the time, calling you out, man.
That is legit. That
I'm
is
through
legit.
calling you now. That was a song of his called "Call You Out," but I'm calling you out because he's on your phone, So, but anyway, so I sent it to him on his phone, and yeah, the whole point was I was trying to prove that, like, oh, okay, somebody said something about, and like I said, you can go back and look at the episode. Somebody said, write a jingle for the Jared Singer Extravaganza, and I did. And then I sent it to Jack, and he played it on the thing. You can hear it on the other live stream, and now you can hear it in its entirety. Actually, this is just the phone demo. We'll do a much more polished one for the next time. So look out for that too. Tune into the next live stream because it's only going to get better from here.
And I think this is maybe my greatest honor as a podcast, to have somebody write some music for the podcast, and we're gonna forever now, indefinitely. I don't care if it's culture appropriation. I don't care if it's culturally appropriate. I don't care if it vibes. I don't give a shit. I love it. This is what we're using. This is our new outro music, written and performed by my man Lazarus. He came on the podcast. That's the first time we met when he came on the podcast. We've hung out a few times since then, and now he's written a very, I'm going to just say it, a very adorable outro to the podcast. Do you have any last words?
That's what I go for. Thank you. This is sort of, it gives you a little sense of who I am as a musician, but also it's like, it says, it really encapsulates the fun I have here on the Jared Singer Extravaganza. And yeah, we'll have a little more polished version, a little full production version for you coming up soon. Maybe
the thing
just
I love the
tune
most
into a
about
future
it,
one.
The thing I love the most about it, as we wrap this up, is it's got a cross between Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend and the Two Bears One Cave outro.
Okay,
I love it. I think it's great. I hope you guys like it too. Will,
let's do it.
Hit our new outro, buddy.
Thank you so much, Will. Thank you, Jared. It's been great being here.
Will built this outro in
Jared
real
Singer
time.
Extravaganza, Jared Singer Extravaganza, Jared Singer Extravaganza. Sit back and put your hands up for Jared Singer Extravaganza, Jared Singer Extravaganza, Jared Singer Extravaganza. Sorry, but it's time to go. Tell somebody that you know. We hope you enjoyed the show.